Aerial coverage tonight from Darlington provided by Goodyear for track-tested technology. Get there on Goodyear Innovation.
Tony Stewart, the pole sitter, will come down and win the season opener at Daytona.
Hey, buddy, you just led 136 out of 150 laps. Man, I love having you in my race car. You boys are awesome. Thank you, thank you.
Stewart takes the win at Talladega.
Buddy, we just won a record. Yeah!
The Joe Gibbs racing streak continues.
Incredible. One short word to describe the performance of the Joe Gibbs Racing 20 cars so far this year. 5 wins with 3 different drivers: Tony Stewart, Kyle Busch, and Denny Hamlin. Crew chief Dave Rogers in the group and factors in each and every race. In fact, they've led every race this year. Tony is aboard the 20 car tonight. He's with Dave Burns now.
And Alan, those 3 wins for Tony came in only 5 starts this season so far. So with an average like that, is this the time to finally get this win at Darlington?
Well, I hope so. This Old Spice car and both the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas in the Nationwide Series have been hot this year. So I thought we had a really good car last night. Our teammate had a better car and had an unfortunate incident qualifying for him. So I don't know. Looking at the lap tracker from last night, we're definitely one of the guys to contend with tonight. So we'll just have to wait and see. It's going to be interesting to see how much the track's going to change from. Even though the sun's almost down, it's still warm from all day. So we'll see what happens when this track cools off and see if we can get the Old Spice car there.
All right, one to beat again tonight, Alan.
Tony Stewart going to line up on the inside of row number 3 for tonight's race. Been a lot of talk about the drivers, Stewart, Busch, and Hamlin. A lot of talk about the team switch to Toyota. Brad, I don't think the team, the pit crew and crew chief Dave Rogers have gotten enough credit for just how well that 20 car's run this year.
You're absolutely right. Dave Rogers and his crew they've done an outstanding job. Every time those cars come in, they do a super job of getting them out ahead of the field in the pits. I mean, they've had 3 great race car drivers as well. I mean, that's a lethal combination. It doesn't hurt. But those guys do an outstanding job, and they're spot on every weekend. They've been outstanding.
All right, Rusty, for an aggressive driver like Tony Stewart, how does he get through tonight's race?
Well, he's one of the best drivers, number one. I mean, and if Tony can't get through it, I'll guarantee there's going to be a whole lot of wrecks out there tonight because he's one talented driver, and he knows what he's up against. He knows his track is slick. He knows the tires are hard, and it's going to be tough tonight. I think he's going to be okay. I really believe.
All right, booth is over there.
Way over there.
So we're going to get you out of here and get you on your way so you're ready for the start of the race. Appreciate it, pal.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Now I want to talk about tires in Darlington now. In the past at Darlington, when the caution came out, there's no question about it. Even if there were just a few laps left to go in the race, you came down pit road and got fresh tires. Tonight, with this new pavement and a new tire, some teams may face a decision like Kevin Harvick and his bunch did in the end of the Richmond race last weekend.
Some people are going to have to make a call. Do they pit or do they stay out?
The first 3 stayed out on the racetrack. 4th on back have the fresh tires.
I don't know what the right decision was, Lee. You're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I'm really afraid that Kevin Harvick and Carl Edwards are going to be sitting ducks right here. Hard to beat those 4 new tires.
The decision to stay out has been costly. 4 tires was everything.
And that agonizing decision whether or not to pit for tires, certainly one that was difficult for Kevin Harvick and the entire team. But here at Darlington, tires have always been something we've talked about. But with this new asphalt, is it still a factor?
Yeah, I don't know that decision was agonizing. We've been on the other side of that, too, in 1 races. So, I think tires are probably about 30, 35 laps are probably where you see the difference in tires. It's not anything like it used to be in difference in speed. But our Camping World Chevrolet hasn't been that good. We changed everything but the car before we got started. So we'll see what happens here and kind of go from there and do our best.
Kevin Harvick still looking for that first win in a KHI car. He's been pretty successful. He's finished in the top 10 in all but 2 races he's entered in the series so far this year, Alan.
Michael, thank you. Kevin is the subject of a new segment for our countdown show called Driver to Driver. Rusty Wallace and Kevin are going to sit down and talk about things the drivers discuss with each other. That's on our Charlotte show in 2 weeks. Getting ready to go at Darlington. David Stremme on the outside of row number 2 starts 4th tonight. Brad Keselowski's got to go to the back. He qualified 13th fastest, but they had to make some post-impound adjustments, so he goes to 39th for the green as NASCAR countdown rolls on at Darlington. That's at a little slower pace than the race cars will be going here in just a little bit. Hey, by the way, just a few minutes ago, Kyle Busch getting introduced in Earnhardt Country.
Starting 5th, number 32, Aaron Jones.
Huge weekend of motorsports coming up for you. NASCAR Now tomorrow morning. Get you ready for the Darlington Cup race. Then Indy 500 pole day. Noon and 6 Eastern on ESPN2. 3 Eastern on ABC. Sunday Indy time trials. And, of course, our NASCAR Now roundtable Monday night, 5:30 Eastern on ESPN2. New issue of ESPN the magazine features a cover story on Dale Earnhardt Jr. written by Marty Smith. Marty spent a lot of time talking to Junior about various things. He joins us from the grid now. And Marty, among the things that you have talked to Junior about is this NASCAR Nationwide Series team that he's running. And apparently there's going to be some changes in the organization. What can you tell us?
Indeed, Alan. Junior Motorsports representatives told me today that Steve Crisp, the team's director of motorsports since its inception, is moving on to pursue his passion for hot rod cars. His last day is this coming Wednesday. Replacing Crisp at Junior Motorsports is Gus Larkin, the current head of sponsor relations for the team. His new title will be team manager.
And Marty, given what Junior told you about the dollars and cents of owning this Nationwide team, this might not be a good night for him.
Yeah, don't wreck. That was pretty much Junior's message when I asked him about being a driver and how hard it is to fire drivers. He told me he can't afford for guys to back cars into the wall and have no answer why, and that he has had to dump his own money back into his race team for a couple of years now just to break even. Tough to make money in this sport, and he said if his guy can finish 15th and get him a couple top 10s, they're just ecstatic. And this guy behind me, Brad Keselowski's been pretty good at that this year.
Marty Smith, cover story ESPN the magazine with Dale Earnhardt Jr. Thanks for the time, bud.
You got it, Alan.
All right, and we are closing in on the start here at Darlington. Last topic to mention before we go trackside, what a championship race in this NASCAR Nationwide Series. Check this out.
Absolutely outstanding with Clint Boyer, Carl Edwards, and Kyle Busch all tied up at the top of the heap. You know, any one of these guys can win any night. And I like Mike Bliss. He's had a great year. He is coming in, and he's going to have a win here real soon.
So at Darlington, which one of those drivers may be the point leader at the end of the night, but always the spotlight shared with this tough old racetrack, the place with its own personality. Right now, time to go trackside for the opening ceremony.
And now, race fans, please rise and remove your hats as the South Carolina Army National Guard presents our nation's colors. And please remain standing as Harold King, chaplain of Darlington Raceway, delivers tonight's invocation.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for your presence here tonight as we enjoy another NASCAR experience here at the Darlington Raceway, the historical track. Father, we ask your blessing tonight upon these drivers as they share in this experience. We pray for divine as well as physical protection upon them. And we pray, Father, that you'll give support to those that support them. Across the world tonight, there are many of our own, our soldiers and our sailors and our Marines and our Air Force and the Coast Guard, our National Guard. Father, standing ready to protect us, so we pray, Lord, special blessings upon them. And Father, we ask all of these blessings as we ask you to bless the President of the United States tonight. And we ask it all in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Please welcome local recording artist Jeff Sifford as he performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So NASCAR's oldest and toughest track made even tougher by a new coat of pavement that's increased speeds and made control harder to keep. Another new chapter in the long history of Darlington. ESPN's coverage of the NASCAR Nationwide Series tonight comes to you from tough old Darlington Raceway in South Carolina. Our coverage presented by the Coleman Company. Hot, steamy day here in South Carolina, giving way to what should be a more comfortable evening for the spectators. I don't know so much about the guys in the race cars. It's still plenty warm to be racing around Darlington Raceway at the kind of speeds they're going to be going tonight. Just how will this latest chapter in the long history of Darlington be written? To call the action, we go upstairs and say hello to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Thanks, AB. Nice job down there. Folks, a lot has changed since NASCAR's first superspeedway race was run here in 1950. On that day, 75 cars started, 25 rows, 3, sort of like Indianapolis. The Cup purses, they've improved quite a bit. Take a look at the qualifying speed, over 100 miles per hour faster. Harry Truman is no longer the president. And oh my, a gallon of gas is no longer 27 cents. In 58 years, this tough old track has earned a lot of nicknames, many of which we can't even mention on cable television. Hello, everyone, along with Rusty Wallace and Andy Petrie. I'm Jerry Punch, and welcome to Extreme Makeover Darlington Edition. Folks, this lady in black's got a shiny new dress, and when I was getting in the garage early talking to some of the drivers, they said, we want to make predictions as to what's going to happen tonight, and then you run them by your experts, so here they are, guys. Some of the drivers said, number one, this track has so much grip and so much speed, it's going to be hard to pass without making contact. What do you think?
I really think it's going to be real hard to pass, Jerry. I really do. They're running so fast that the cars are all running almost the same speed. The lap fall-off time is not much at all. Although, I think still it's going to be very, very slick. There's going to be a lot of crashes.
Yeah, and the one thing is the aero. These cars are now going so fast that when they catch each other, that aero effect is a lot more. I talked to guys, and they said that when they come up behind somebody, even if they're a half a second faster, it makes it really hard to pass them.
Okay, next prediction was that pit strategy and fuel consumption, fuel strategy will dictate the winner tonight. What do you think?
Well, I think it will, because the tire used to be a no-brainer here. You pitted every single time the caution came out and got 4 tires. Right now, this track is so sticky and the tire is so good that it stays the same all the way through the run. So you might see some guys actually just take gas, or maybe just get 2 right sides, or pull some strategy here that we've never seen before.
Jerry, I really predict one thing. The easiest place to pass on this racetrack is going to be on pit road after a good pit stop from your team. You're really going to rely a lot on your team tonight.
Final prediction was all the drivers said tonight 2 car crashes will become 10 car pileups because it's so fast you can't stop. You agree?
I couldn't agree more. If you wipe out 2 cars in front of an oncoming field of 43 drivers, buddy, you're going to have a big one. It's going to be like rolling the strike out there.
I like Jeff Burton's statement, folks. He said it's going to be this simple. This is going to be fun to watch. And speaking of Jeff Burton, he's a 4-time winner here. You want to pick a favorite? Burton awfully good. How about Mark Martin? It should name this place Martinsville instead of Darlington. He's won 8 poles, 8 times been to victory lane, and led almost 1,000 laps at famed Darlington Raceway. Well, let's get underway here at the track Too Tough to Tame as we go trackside to get the command to fire them up here. 43 of NASCAR's finest cinched up and ready to go at Darlington.
And now, race fans, please welcome Grand Marshal tonight, Ronnie Young, as he delivers the most famous words in motorsports. Gentlemen, start your engines.
Okay, crank him up, crank him up, crank him up. All right, fired up. All right, guys, let's just keep doing what you've been doing. You've been doing a great job. Thanks for the good car. And let's just do the best we can tonight, guys. We need a good points finish, and let's see what happens here.
Engines have fired on pit road, and 2003 NASCAR Sprint Cup champion Matt Kenseth will be our in-race reporter tonight. He's making his 15th start at Darlington Raceway. He has already gone to victory lane twice in a Chevy back in 1999, and of course he followed up with a great win in his Ford all the way from 24th starting spot in 2005. We'll talk to him when we come back in a moment. The NASCAR Nationwide Series at Darlington is presented by Coleman, the outdoor company. Let's go outside, and in part by Prescription Flomax. And Best Buy will take you to a better summer only at Best Buy. Take a look at our starting grid. Reigning series champion Carl Edwards shattered the old track record by nearly 7 miles per hour to pick up his 7th career pole. His first pole, by the way, in some 50 races. He's flanked by current points leader Clint Bowyer. Now, while you watch to see where your favorite driver is starting, we will take a moment to visit with our in-race reporter, driver of the City Financial Ford, Matt Kenseth, who starts back in 8th tonight.
Matt Kenseth, Rusty Wallace, ESPN. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Rusty.
Hey, Matt, with all the crashes and scraping the walls that happened in practice and qualifying, man, what's going through your mind right now as you get ready to start this race?
Well, really just kind of curious what the tracks would be like yesterday in the afternoon. You would think it would have been looser, and then it got dark last night, and I thought the track was a lot looser at night. So just kind of worry about the first corner. There's really only one groove getting into one where you see that gray stuff above the groove there is extremely slippery. Nobody's been out there yet. So just kind of worried about getting through turn 1 right now and get rolling and see what we got.
All right, Matt, we got another question for you. It's from the ESPN mailbag question from one of our viewers, and the question is from Burton in Mackinac Island, Michigan. He asked, how do you approach a 200-mile race differently than a 500-miler?
Well, especially here with the track reconfigured now, 200 miles isn't very long. 147 laps here with this new pavement and the fast speeds we're going to be running is a short race, so pretty much just wide open. You try to still try not to wreck, but you're going to have to run hard all race long and try to have that track position. Then there's not a lot of time to recover from a mistake or an error, so you got to try to do everything right and try to stay up there all day.
All right, buddy, have a great race tonight. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks a lot.
Calling the shots for Matt tonight will be crew chief Drew Blickensdorfer. Let's visit with Drew.
Hey, Drew. Andy Petrie up here in the ESPN booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, Andy.
Hey, Drew, it used to be automatic. When the caution came out, you came and got 4 tires. What are we going to see tonight?
We're going to have to wait and see. We got the smaller fuel cells in the Nationwide cars this year. I don't think the tires are going to be like they were in the past, but I don't think they slow you down for sure. So depending on where you're at track position-wise, you'll make that call then.
Okay, Drew, how about this new surface? How has that affected your Darlington setup?
The Darlington setup's not really there anymore. The kind of setup you run at Texas and Atlanta, you're looking at that kind of stuff more than you are the pure grip. That's what you look for when you came to Darlington in the past. So you don't need that this year. So City Financial Ford's got a faster, sleeker setup this year.
That's good stuff. We appreciate it, Drew. You guys have a good race.
Thanks, Andy.
Matt Kenseth will carry one of our onboard cameras. We'll show the other ones we'll be riding along with tonight. Mike Bliss starts 7th in the Miccosukee Resorts Chevrolet. Mark Martin starts 14th in the backup GoDaddy.com Chevy. Mike Wallace 24th in the Geico Toyota. You've already heard from Matt Kenseth, who starts 8th. Kenny Wallace 27th, the U.S. Border Patrol Chevy. Kyle Busch starts 5th in the Coleman Behringer Toyota. Kevin Harvick, coming off that runner-up finish last week at Richmond, starts 17th, the Camping World Chevy. And our pole sitter Carl Edwards in the Scott's Turf Builder Water Smart Formula 4. We'll have 3 crew cameras on different crew members tonight. Rear tire changer Brandon Blake out of Charlotte, North Carolina, will be changing tires for Mark Martin. Mike Brown, the front tire changer out of Salisbury for Kenny Wallace. And Stephen Wallace's jackman Wade Luxton out of Bethel, Mass. will be able to get some up close and personal shots of action as it happens on pit road here at Darlington. Over the past 24 hours, the track Too Tough to Tame has taken its toll on the stars and cars of NASCAR. And to update us for more on that, let's go down to Mike Massaro in the pits.
And Doc, this old girl has certainly lived up to her reputation this week, and attrition has been the theme. To give you some perspective just how rough practice was, take a look at this. Mark Martin, a guy with 8 victories here in Darlington, arguably the most successful Darlington driver in tonight's field, crashes. He's forced to a backup car. To prepare that backup car, the team came in extra early this morning. They worked on that car for 5 hours, basically stripping some of the critical components from the primary car and reinstalling them on this backup car. The big concern for Chad Walter in the 5, though, track time. So far this weekend, the backup car has not been on the track. Because of that, expect them to pit often and early, just trying to dial that car in. Jamie?
Well, Mike, on the flip side of experience is inexperience. There's 11 drivers in the field tonight who have never raced here at Darlington. Most of them had a problem yesterday in practice or qualifying. One of them being Chase Miller. He's in the 9 car. He crashed in both practices yesterday afternoon, so he thought, well, in this final practice last night, I'm going to follow a veteran. I'm going to follow Mark Martin. Well, you saw what happened early on. Chase just avoided Mark in that crash. He came back with 4 flat tires, so needless to say, Chase Miller and that 9 team hard at work all last night to get that car ready for the track that's too tough to tame. Shannon Spake?
Well, Jamie, Stephen Wallace was involved in 2 incidents yesterday. The second came in final practice and ended the day not only for his car, but for Stephen Wallace as well. Following the wreck, which occurred between turns 1 and 2, Wallace was taken to a local hospital because he was complaining of headaches. He underwent a precautionary CAT scan. He was checked out, released. He is here today. But he is in a backup car that he was unable to put any laps on. However, his teammate David Stremme did. He ran some laps in final practice, and the team is happy with the car. Dave Burns.
Shannon, Kyle Busch has damage as well for an earlier incident in final practice. I asked Trent Owens why they didn't go to the backup car. He says, we know more about this car with a little damage on it than we did about the backup car. We're confident about this piece. Doc?
Guys, great stories down there. We will follow them throughout the night. Carl Edwards, pole sitter, opted to go on the outside. The pole sitter has that choice. He decided to start on the outside as they come down. Glad to have you with us on a Mother's Day weekend. We kick it off with a visit to the granddaddy of all, Darlington, South Carolina, as the green flag waves, and Carl Edwards will lead him down into turn 1. Down the back straightaway, can they make it a whole lap? You heard about the carnage we've had here. The extra speed, some 7 miles an hour faster they've ever been in. Our pole sitter brushes the wall up high. Carl Edwards against the concrete on lap 1.
He just sailed it down into turn 3 and just got in there too hot, guys, and got up in the wall and tore that car up already. Let's see a little smoke off the car. He's starting to fall back a bit. Wow, didn't expect that right off the bat, that's for sure.
It seemed like a good decision.
Here, Dragon.
It seemed like a good decision for Carl to start on the outside, but, you know, and I would have thought that was the groove to be in.
Rusty, why would you pick that spot on the outside versus the inside? As you see, Carl was up high going into the turn and hit the wall.
Yeah, Jerry, the outside's a fast way around this racetrack, and that's where Carl wanted to start. But you see, he got up in that debris. See all that smoke flying off the racetrack? Got up in there, just flat, made a driver's mistake.
Let's ride on board with Carl Edwards. First lap, headed down the backstretch toward turn 3.
Hold it up there, hold it up there, hold it up there.
And he has hit the wall this time even harder, so that will bring out caution for the first time. And that reigning series champion and pole sitter, Carl Edwards.
Andy, it looks like there was smoke coming off that car.
Guys, take it to the garage.
Yeah, he had some damage from that contact in turn 3 and 4, and I'm sure that what happened here is the tire went down. He's still trying to run hard and, you know, just got too much damage to the car. You can see that right front tire just goes down. Oh, man, he makes a hard lick into the wall.
Doc, I would have made the same decision to start on the outside. I think that was a good decision, but he just got in there so deep up in that dirt on the top of the track. It got him.
Reigning series champion and pole sitter Carl Edwards becomes the first victim of the track too tough to tame. Lap 1, turn 3, and Carl Edwards clobbers the concrete. We are under caution here at Darlington. It's been a tough couple of weeks for reigning series champion Carl Edwards. Talladega, the big one late, and it's Edwards that just punches the 61 car of Kevin LePage in the big one. How about Richmond? Look, check the left rear tire changer. The lug nut comes off, costing him some valuable time and possibly a better finish. And, of course, on lap 1 here, the pole sitter, heavy contact. His second contact there with the wall and the concrete and damaging his Ford at Darlington Raceway. Carl Edwards has been winless in 2008. His last win coming in June of 2007 at Nashville. You see there, 31 races. Got his first pole since October of 2006 tonight. And my question is, guys, when the fastest car and the reigning series champion hits the wall at Darlington on lap number 1, what does that say to the other guys in the field that have to race tonight?
It says be careful. Watch that wall and give it some respect, because this is only 200 miles, but it's still a long race to try to race right that close to the wall.
Carl Edwards surveying the damage. Folks, he was only 9 points back of points leader Clint Bowyer. That's why he's anxious to get that car back on the racetrack. And speaking of Clint Bowyer, he will lead him down to the green flag here on lap number 7.
Well, guys, if there's anything good about this right now, they're restarting this race single file, so they don't have to worry about getting in there side by side and seeing what's going to happen or go wrong.
David Stremme in the 64 car, one of 2 drivers in the top 10 in points that has yet to lead a lap in 2008. He wants to do it, but he will lose second spot right there to Tony Stewart.
And that's a smart heads-up move by David Stremme. He saw that 20 car of Tony Stewart looking underneath him and getting into turn 1. It's tricky, so he just let him have it early in the race.
More on Stremme with Dave.
And Andy, that's a great point. He just talked to his spotter about that. He said, if a guy's trying to pass me and there's room behind him for me to get back in there, just tell me that. I will let him go. And that's a typical Darlington way to save your stuff till later.
Yeah, this racetrack might have a new coat of asphalt on it, but the characteristics are the same. You'll see a lot of cars get out of the throttle going into 1, let a car go by. The same thing's going to happen on the entry of turn 3. You just got to race it that way.
Leaders in trouble. The 88 car, Brad Keselowski, spins around and he has contact with the wall. He was the fastest car in the first session of practice here on Thursday.
All right, Pops, I'll tell you what I see here. I know it got the left rear a little bit. I think we're going to be okay.
He scraped the wall qualifying, had to start in the back of the field, and I'm sure he's trying to work traffic and had a super fast car. See him here trying to get down. He's just a little too low getting in that corner.
He just got pinched down. The guy just got him right down on the white line, and he pulled that wheel down. A lot of drivers were concerned about these real hard tires not having enough grip, and that's the first victim right there.
Yeah, the 0-1, that's Curtis Davis on the high side. Davis didn't do anything wrong. Brad was just hustling that car to the front. As you said, Andy, great race car having to go to the back of the pack. It ends up in the concrete here. Second caution flag of the night. Well, Jeff Burton was right earlier. He said this should be fun to watch. It's going to be a tough one for everybody here at the track. Too tough to tame. We'll come back and visit with Carl Edwards in the garage in just a moment. Welcome back to Darlington Raceway. NASCAR Nationwide action in Darlington presented by the Coleman Company. Great crowd on hand tonight for the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Tomorrow night, folks, for the 4th consecutive time, as they move this race to Mother's Day weekend, the reserved grandstands are sold out here for the NASCAR Sprint Cup event. They're very proud of that here at Darlington Raceway. Big crowd tomorrow night and a huge crowd here watching the Nationwide cars tonight. Our lucky dog, the 24 car. He was the first car lap down, was able to get back on the lead lap. That is the efforts of Eric McClure, as he was our lucky dog free pass winner under the most recent caution flag. Clint Bowyer, our leader. Tony Stewart, David Stremme, Kyle Busch in the 32 car, then Jeff Burton. That's the top 5. The 88 car you see right side of your screen, Brad Keselowski now pulling back on the racetrack. He was involved in a shunt a moment ago, bringing out caution number 2 when he got together with the 0-1 car. Speaking of getting together, here's Tony Stewart taking a run at Clint Bowyer's Chevy.
Tell you what, guys, it's going to be an art how you're going to pass tonight. We're learning a lot right now from these guys up in front of this pack. These are veterans and a lot of give and take. Shannon?
Yeah, Rusty, talking to Dan Dierenhoff, crew chief for the Clint Bowyer, he said that the one thing that this team really needs to work on is getting better as Clint Bowyer is falling back. He said they have got to beat that 20 team. And of course, you saw Tony Stewart in that 20 team just take the lead. He said, we asked him where the 20 team was beating him, and he said everywhere. They're just that good. Mike.
And Shannon, the 20 car certainly picking up right where they've been the past 3 weeks in Victory Lane. That's where they've been 3 consecutive weeks. But this week, however, Dave Rogers not all that happy with the race car. In fact, he felt like the car that they were chasing was their teammate, Denny Hamlin in the 18. So after practice last night, they had a very long debriefing with Denny Hamlin and that team trying to figure out exactly what they're doing. They applied a lot of the same thinking, a lot of the same strategy and setup in the 20 car, and they believe the 18 team in Jason Ratcliffe have really helped them this weekend, Jamie.
Well, your pole sitter, Carl Edwards, brought out the first caution flag. Carl, you hit the wall not once, but twice. What happened?
The first time was definitely my fault. Just got to apologize to my guys. They've worked so hard lately. This fusion was fast, and everybody water smart, Scots. They dropped the green, and I was ready to race. And I got loose, hit the wall. I guess we cut down a tire. And looks like Matt's running well, though. Maybe he'll get a win for Ford today, but just feel bad. That was a bad mistake, and learn my lesson there.
Why the decision to swap positions with Clint Boyer on the start and go to the outside?
Well, I think you saw at the beginning, Clint even got loose under me, and we touched a little bit. I just figured if the car was going to be loose, I didn't want to be on the bottom and get wrecked down there. But I managed to get myself loose enough to be on the outside even, so I guess either way I was kind of in a bad spot. But hopefully tomorrow I'll go better.
Any chance you guys will make it back out there?
No, I don't think we're going to make it back out. I'll just be cheering for Matt from here on out.
All right, that's Carl Edwards. Doc?
Carl Edwards takes a huge hit in the concrete and a huge hit in the point stand as he came in tonight. 9 points back of Boyer in second place. Right now he has already fallen 140 points back in third spot, and if they do not get back out, and you heard him just tell Jamie Little they probably will not, he will take a huge lick in the point standings.
Absolutely, Doc. I spent a long time last night talking to Carl about running that high line, and what he wanted to do was utilize the outside because he felt it was faster. He was concerned about the inside line and the slow traffic getting up in the way of the cars on the outside line. So it's ironic that he started on the outside and had trouble, and it ended his day this far. So interesting circumstance of events there.
Great point, Brad. We remind the people this new asphalt here at Darlington has taken its toll on veteran drivers. Tony Stewart hit the wall in practice. Mark Martin had to go to a backup car, and in the Sprint Cup practice, a reigning Cup champion, Jimmy Johnson had to go to a backup car and then touch the wall in the backup car. It's been that challenging this weekend already.
Jerry, I talked to a lot of drivers. They said they really got to run this track really hard and try to get a fast lap speed, but a lot of them agreed. As this race goes on, they think the pace is going to slow down a little bit. They'll get out of the throttle more, maybe even touch the brake a little bit and calm down. But they told me qualifying here was just, hair-raising. They had to run so hard, they weren't comfortable doing that.
This track has already chewed up more cars than a Talladega big one, and we haven't even run 20 laps yet.
Andy, one thing I'm noticing is that I'm seeing these cars really starting to flirt with the wall in 3 and 4 right now. They're getting more confident, and they're getting that baby really up there, and I think that's the pot. They're just about to bite it again here, it looks like.
It must be pretty tempting to get that car as close to that wall as you can get, because there's just a little bit of grip right next to the wall.
Well, I think when you're out there running right now, and you've run 4, 5, 6, 8 laps like we did earlier, now we're at lap 22, they're going, hey, this car's handling pretty good. I'm pretty confident in it now. I'm going to start moving this baby up against the wall, and I think that's when it's going to bite you.
Mark Martin's onboard camera. He is currently in 9th position in a backup car. This is the car that actually ran Bristol with Martin Truex aboard and was involved in an early accident, had to be repaired. There's the 5 car, the JR Motorsports car. Mark making only his second start of the year. His first start came with a win at Las Vegas.
You see Todd Bodine, the 03 car, working on Kelly Byers. It's a good run for this team. They don't run very many races. Todd runs the truck series full time and kind of dabbles in this series, in the Nationwide series a little bit.
Take a look at his run. Jason Luffer's getting on Todd Bodine right now. Todd got behind the car in front of him and actually got slowed up and let Jason get a good run, and you're going to see a lot of that tonight.
Jason Leffler led this race a year ago, ran in the top 5 most of the night, ended up slipping back and finishing 6th overall. Talking about the driver in the 38 car, he will be good. Todd Bodine, you mentioned, is a former winner here in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, although he runs full-time now in the Truck Series. A couple of good ones in Toyotas, battling back for 9th and 10th spot. Right now they're chasing in the Toyota of Tony Stewart, who was our leader. Good run for David Stremme in a Chevy. Kyle Busch back. The NBA playoffs continue on ESPN and ABC tomorrow night with coverage of both Eastern Conference semifinals. First at 5 Eastern on ESPN, the Detroit Pistons take on Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic in Game 4. Pistons lead that series 2-1. And at 8 o'clock Eastern on ABC, Kevin Garnett and the Celtics stroll into Cleveland for Game 3 against King LeBron James and the Cavaliers. Celtics now lead that series 2-0. The NBA playoffs conference semifinals on ESPN and ABC Saturday night, your destination for the NBA playoffs. For more information, you can log on to ESPN.com. Speaking of bobbing and weaving, they're trying to dodge each other and the wall here at Darlington. And here's the guy that's doing a pretty good job right now, three-time winner this year. Tony Stewart has now led over half of the laps thus far.
Guys, one thing I've noticed right now that the speed of the race has slowed up about 1 second. So they're definitely slowing up just a little bit. And a lot of traffic are maneuvering around. Been watching Tony Stewart's speed, and his fastest lap was a 28.08. His last lap was a 28.92. So he's slowing up just a little bit here.
Well, what was to be a battle for fifth, a two-car, Clint Bowyer just really dropping off the pace, Andy. Shannon?
Yeah, Clint Bowyer, who started second, is having a problem with that car. He said the tires are chattering really bad up off the corners. Having a hard time handling that car right now, so expect some changes when he comes down pit road to make that first pit stop.
I have to think he's talking about the front tires chattering, making the car, harder to turn. And he's just going to chill out here, not get the car banged up, and he'll have a chance to work on it and get it better.
If the tires are chattering, you better hope it's the fronts instead of the rears, because if the back of that car is chattering, it's going to get real loose and spin right out. But, Andy, it looks like he's actually slowed up a little bit, and you're probably right. It is the front tires causing the problem. And, I think Jeff Burton earlier in our broadcast was concerned that these cars were going to get tight, and that's what's happening to Clint Bowyer right now.
Clint Bowyer, we mentioned, came in as the points leader, but by virtue of moving back and losing positions, now back in seventh spot, the 32 car right there, Kyle Busch, would right now be our points leader here in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Let's listen in to Kyle's radio.
Let's just see what the track does here for a little bit, but Jeff, I got no vision behind me, so keep me up to date.
I think what he's saying, he says no vision behind him. I think he doesn't have time to look in the mirror. He's got that right, looking at that wall out the right side, and he doesn't have time to look what's behind him.
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, there's so much concentration going on right now. He just can't afford to be looking all over the place. He's got to race this racetrack. Don't race the rest of the competitors. You're going so fast into 3 and to 1. Hey, you've heard it before. If you get racing each other, you're going to crash. He's doing it the right way right now.
Rusty, drivers don't mince any words when you ask them about this racetrack. Here's what Kyle Busch had to say when asked about Darlington Raceway.
Darlington's such a demanding racetrack because you go into the corner and there's such a particular line you have to run every single lap. And the biggest thing about that place is you've got to be able to run right up next to the wall. And guys that are scared of running next to the wall, they don't run very well.
Got to run right up next to the wall, and you wonder why so many people hit the wall here, but you got to run, a foot away from it for most of the lap.
Well, you got to run right on it, and boy, every now and then you are going to make a mistake. I mean, you got to be doggone good, guys, to go in this corner and just lay that baby a foot off the wall every lap and think you're going to get away with it every lap.
They got these safer barriers up, too, and they take about 4 feet of width away from the racing surface, and there's no place that they miss that more than here at Darlington.
Now, Andy, a lot of the cars in the Sprint Cup Series have got that impact-resistant foam in the right side door, but they do something different here.
They put wood in the right side. A lot of these teams, I went down through the garage area. You could see a lot of guys taking this 2x4, a couple of 2x4s, and stacking them together, putting them right against the door bars on the inside of the door skin to keep. If you hit the wall with this car and you hit that door bar with that wood, it'll keep it from knocking the rear end housing and other suspension parts out of line.
Well, he didn't hit the wall last week at Richmond, but he hit a few other things on that. There was some contact for Kyle Busch in the Friday night NASCAR Nationwide race with Stephen Wallace, and then there was contact. You don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spin out Dale Earnhardt Jr. or you don't have contact with him. And that kind of contact got a very vocal reaction from the fans tonight when Kyle Busch was introduced in pre-race introductions. And the fans minced no words about it. He came down and he smiled and waved to the fans, obviously, you might expect. Now, over the years, there have been some, bad guys in racing. Remember, Darrell Waltrip talked about being called Jaws and booed over the years. And I think, Rusty, you got a few boos at times.
I have gotten many boos. I'll never forget the 1989 Winston in Charlotte. Man, I spun out Darrell Waltrip accidentally.
That's your story, and you're sticking to it.
That is my story, and I'm sticking to it. Boy, did I get booed, and it took a long time, and I learned right then I love these fans. They make it possible for us to be in this broadcast booth, and those drivers down there, love them to death, but I lost a lot of them that day.
Well, Kyle had a tough week. Of course, as he makes another pass, goes by underneath the Kenny Wallace car, moving in on Morgan Shepherd. 32 car being shown in second. position, trying to run down his teammate Tony Stewart. More on Kyle Busch. Let's go down to Shannon.
Well, Doc, you were talking about last week with Kyle Busch. Something that you saw in the race was that this 32 team never gave up. Kyle Busch was a lap down, came back to finish third. Now, that's something that they've seen this week as well. That car involved in some damage in the third practice, major damage to the right side. The team brought in 3 fabricators from the shop to work on that car, to get that car on the track and ready for Kyle Busch today, so they did not have to go to a backup car. Never give up mentality, and that's why Kyle Busch is running in the top 5 right now.
Kyle Busch, second right now. Tony Stewart, our leader. And we told you that Kyle Busch did not get the warmest reception in pre-race tonight as he's introduced to this great crowd of NASCAR fans at Darlington.
Kyle Busch.
Welcome back to the Diamond Hill Plywood 200 NASCAR Nationwide Series action at Darlington Raceway here in Darlington, South Carolina. On a Mother's Day weekend, our current leader is Tony Stewart. Tony, a 3-time winner here in 2008. Biggest mover thus far. How about Jason Keller? Had to go to the back of the pack. Jason, a South Carolina native, its own home racetrack because of an engine change. Started dead last, now up 19 spots. Top NASCAR Nationwide only driver. How about David Stremme coming off back-to-back top 10 finishes, second at Talladega and 6th at Richmond. Good run for Stremme in the Atrius Chevrolet.
Looks like these guys are minding their manners. They've seen a lot of action so far, and now it seems like it's kind of settled down.
Man, you got that right, but I don't want to jinx them right now. I mean, it looks like they've really got in line. They're actually racing the racetrack like you really need to do. This is one of the tracks, like we talked earlier, man. If you get racing each other side by side, you will crash at this place.
What does that mean, race the racetrack and not the competition?
Jerry, it's a great point. What it means is just follow the same groove. I mean, look at the track, look where the groove is, and just every single lap try to be very consistent around the racetrack. If you get racing other guys and get distracted, man, you're going to get in that wall. You just are.
You know, one of the best all times at racing the racetrack here was the Silver Fox, David Pearson. 12 poles, 10 wins. I know you got to spend some time with David today, and just being around him, you understand why he was so good at this place.
He actually talked. I talked to David down there today, and he talks like he could still do it. If they get somebody give him a good car, he can still do it today. He said he could actually qualify for this race if he needed to.
You know, they told me that he was dirt racing a lot and winning a lot of races, and I said, he's not racing any longer. I said, why aren't you racing right now? He said, they all got mad because I beat them all.
Yeah, he can't find anybody to race again.
You know what else he said? He said, you know, the old Pure Later car. Uh-oh. Looks like David Stremme off the pace right now.
This could be a scheduled pit stop here.
Pit stop. And indeed, he will come down 45 miles an hour, the first of the leaders to come on the pit road. Remember, we talked about pit strategy and fuel strategy, how it could play into the winter tonight. Here comes Stremme down pit road. There is first and second now. A couple of Cup Series teammates. They are not teammates tonight. Tony Stewart and Kyle Busch. Let's go down to Dave.
This is a scheduled pit stop. A little bit tight for David Stremme. They're going to make a wedge adjustment as the lead change is happening on the track right now, or attempting to happen on the left of your screen. Stremme pits from third position, gives up that position on the track, and interestingly, one crew chief told me earlier today, you don't want to be the first to pit in this place because someone is going to miss pit road trying to hit it under green. So we'll watch and see. Stremme back into the mix. Stephen Wallace, his teammate, on pit road as well.
Stephen Wallace in the backup car, coming off his first top 5 finish of his career at Richmond last week. Good clean pit stop for Stephen.
I don't know about you, Rusty, but I didn't think we'd make green flag pit stops the first run.
No, I never thought that happened either. Lap 55 right now. I really thought these guys could go to at least lap 60, Andy, and I think this is a little early for both these guys to be coming down pit road, but they're just hoping a caution doesn't come out right now.
Kevin Harvick really struggling going a lap down to the leader, Kyle Busch. We were looking at the right side of this 33 car a while ago. Looks like he's had a little bit of contact with the wall. Shannon, do you have more on Kevin Harvick?
Yeah, Kevin Harvick coming off that second place finish last weekend, having tire chatter all the way through the turns. Told his crew chief he's just going to feel it out right now. Expect to see, if they go green flag pit stop, expect to see Kevin Harvick come down in about 10 laps. Those guys are on the wall in case something unfolds.
Hard to believe Kevin Harvick has never won in anything at this racetrack. When I spoke with him yesterday, he hasn't won in a truck or a nationwide car or a cup car, so this track's always been tough for him. And again tonight, you heard Shannon say he's going to peel off and come down and make some adjustments on his car on this first scheduled stop.
You can tell he's got some damage there, Andy, on the right front fender. Got in the wall a little bit already. He told me before the race he was not happy with this car.
Got just a little bit of damage. These guys can maybe pull that out and they change these tires. It'll be just fine.
Shannon?
Yeah, as you can see, those guys are going to work on that car, trying to fix that chatter, that vibration that Kevin Harvick is feeling. Looks like it's going to be a 4-tire change for this team. Kevin Harvick coming off a second place finish, so close to winning that race last weekend, guys. 33 is out.
Not a bad pit stop. We're waiting for our leader to make a pit. That is Kyle Busch on the left. Meanwhile, Mike Bliss in front of Jamie.
That's right. He said his car's been great. He started 7th, worked his way up to 3rd. They're coming in for 4 tires, only no changes to the car. Full fuel. This team located right here in South Carolina. They're looking for their first victory together. It's just the 6th time working with Mike Bliss. Doc?
Bliss down and away. You saw the 32 car tiptoeing. Here's the 20 car who was the leader, has been passed by Kyle Busch. Tony Stewart on pit road to make his first stop. Let's see what Dave Rogers and company are going to do as Tony heads toward them at 45 miles an hour.
And Doc, thus far, Tony Stewart real happy with his car, saying it's just getting a little bit tight toward the end of the run. We expect to see a 4-tire change here on the 20 cars. The team leaps into action and goes to work on the right side. Also a little bit of a chassis adjustment as well, and a 4-tire change along with a very slight air pressure adjustment to the 20 car.
.32 of Kyle Busch on for his first stop. Shannon.
Yeah, Kyle Busch pulls that car in. He's saying that he needs more rear grip. They're going to try to remedy that by taking some air out of those front tires. Those guys go around to the other side. It's a 4-tire change for Kyle Busch and that 32 Braun team.
Tick loose on the 99 car for David Rudiman. They will make a track bar adjustment for him. Again, this is the backup car after he wrecked in practice earlier this weekend. Having a solid run so far. He's off pit road. Mike.
And Dave, the concern for the 5 team coming into this race was a lack of track time. They weren't sure how this car was going to react. Mark Martin pretty happy, but they do put a round and a half in the right rear, make an air pressure adjustment on all 4 tires. Dave?
Crew Chief Drew Blickensderfer told me that Matt Kenseth would start this race tight. That is indeed the case. That was to get around the traffic, wait till a lot of cars went a lap down. Now they'll loosen up the race car, and with freer racetrack, he'll be able to drive this car extremely fast with a loose condition. Shannon.
Well, Clint Boyer was your race leader coming into this race. He brings that car down pit road. Looks like they're going to take 4 tires. He was experiencing chattering in that car a little bit earlier in the race. Clint Boyer is out.
David Reagan pretty happy with his car, been pretty quiet on the radio as well. Didn't say very much. The one thing he did say, a little bit snug. They're going to go to work, expect a 4-tire change, no chassis adjustment on the 6 car. Team going to work on the right side now as they swing around to the left side to complete their 4-tire change for David Reagan in the 16.
29 car, that is Jeff Burton, a 4-time winner here. Burton, one of the very composed drivers, talking about being patient and racing the track only, has a history of being there at the end. Right now, he's going to make his first stop, and we head down today to Mike.
And talking to Burton's crew chief, Pat Smith, this afternoon, Doc, I was surprised to hear him say they're lost right now. They couldn't get a handle on this car, and so far they've been struggling a little bit. They were as high as the top 5, but were fading. Car was getting very tight. Front tires were chattering. They'll go to work, a 4-tire change, no chassis adjustment on the Holiday Inn Chevrolet. Shannon?
Kelly Byers has been pretty quiet over his radio. He's happy with this car. He said he felt good after last night's practice, but he describes this track as unpredictable, guys. He says you never know what can happen when you go out onto that track. Kelly Byers currently 12th in the points standings, having a great season for this young man.
Kelly Byers was the leader, Shannon, when he came in. And by virtue of pit stops, he led a couple of laps. So this team really coming on. Kelly Byers, one of the cars we talked about watching here, as he was very good in practice and very patient on the racetrack. 59, Marcus Ambrose is the leader. There's a 59 car. Whoa, up into the concrete a little bit.
That's the problem when you're out there on a little bit older tires at this racetrack. You got guys that have pitted and come out they're faster than you are. We saw Stephen Wallace passing him and kind of put him in a bad spot.
Yeah, Marcus better get that car down pit road right now. You saw what happened to Carl Edwards early when he got in the wall, and the right front of Marcus's car is tore up pretty good right now from getting in that wall.
Caught a glimpse of the 20 car. Tony Stewart racing up there. There comes Stewart, the 20 car. When he goes by, he will become the leader because Marcus Ambrose has yet to pit, and now Tony with those fresh good years right on the back of Chase Miller, and Miller just trying to hang on his first ever trip here to Darlington.
Well, if he just races the track like we talked earlier and just stays away from that wall a little bit, this guy could have a good run tonight, and he'll learn a lot from these veterans.
First round of scheduled pit stops are complete. We are 66 laps in here at the track Too Tough to Tame. NASCAR Nationwide action kicking off a Mother's Day weekend of NASCAR. Glad to have you with us. Back with more in just a moment.
Almost halfway through tonight's NASCAR Nationwide Series race at Darlington, South Carolina. That is Tony Stewart of the Joe Gibbs Racing 20. The Gibbs Nationwide Series teams have won 5 straight races in this series. Right now, Smoke is out in front trying to make it 6.
Boy, he has that thing dialed in, Alan. He's led 46 of 72 laps. 47, excuse me, of 72 laps. And that looks like another dominant performance for that David Rogers prepared race car.
Big story of the night. Carl Edwards started on pole but was in a crash. He hit the wall on lap 1. He cut down a tire and smashed the wall on lap 2. He's out of the race. He'll finish 43rd. And he's dropped way back of Kyle Busch and Clint Boyer in the tight race for the series championship. Those 3 drivers were within 12 points of each other at the start of the night. Other surprising story of the night besides the Carl problem, a lack of crashes. Doc, Rusty, Jerry, I mean, Andy, I thought we'd see a whole lot more than this.
You know, Alan, the drivers in the garage area were talking about that. They said, we said at the top of the show, they said a 2-car crash is going to become a 10-car crash. It's going to be so hard to pass without leaning on people. They thought it was going to be a crash fest as well, but we've been lucky. We may just jinx ourselves here, but we've been lucky so far, guys. And a reminder, by the way, that you see Tony Stewart, Denny Hamlin, who won this race last year and the year before from the pole, is not in the race, and he did not qualify because he slapped the wall in qualifying. Speaking of hitting the wall, there's the 30 car. Has made contact. Stanton Barrett.
Roll down, bud. Doing good.
That will be the 3rd caution flag of the night here at Darlington.
Clear low. Go on down.
This might even be a break for Marcus Ambrose. Was trying to get to pit road, missed the entrance, and then this caution came out.
Now there's the 59 car, Marcus Ambrose, who was trying to get to pit road a moment ago, and he did not get to pit road because he could not quite get woed down at the entrance.
Well, I tell you, who got the break just then, guys? Sam Hornish was just getting ready to get overhauled by Tony Stewart, and Stephen Wallace is going to get the lucky dog right now. So these two were fixing to get in big trouble.
Hornish is in 16th position. He would be the last car on the lead lap. Steve Wallace will get back on the lead lap to put 17. Show you what happened here to bring out caution number 3. Watch the top of your screen there. There's the 30 car, Stanton Barrett, who has run well here in a Cup car in the past. Spins his Chevy around and backs it up against the safer barrier and just rubs the wall all the way around. Bring out the yellow flag again.
Window.
Looks like just a typical Darlington spin.
Down. Clear.
This track is really, really tough.
Boy, it really is tough. I just started to say these guys are really being cool out there, and I think they're all a little bit scared of the track yet, and they're driving really smart and really smooth. And obviously Stanton just got out from underneath him. He got in there all by himself and got a little high and looped it around.
Leaders do not come. As you see, some of the cars that are not on the lead lap, there's a few that have come on pit road. The David Stremme car, 64 car in the pits.
Now Marcus Ambrose is able to come down the pit road. That was a real break. You know, he missed pit road under green, and then this caution comes out and it allows him to make this pit stop under caution.
Well, hey, when it's your day, and he's doing pretty good right now. But if I was them, I'd be pulling that right front fender out because that could cause him trouble. We saw it was tore up pretty good there, Andy.
You definitely don't want to get that thing rubbing that right front fender.
Matt Kenseth on pit road. There's the points leader, who was the points leader, Clint Boyer. They're making an adjustment in that rear window.
Yeah, they're trying to get this car freed up. Both of these Childress cars, the 29 and this 2, have both been complaining about being tight. We see every time Clint's been on pit road, they've been adjusted. Here's Mark Martin.
Left side tires on Mark Martin's car. And Rusty, these cars get tight. I guess the word is they get tighter as the night goes on.
Yeah, and they get tighter and tighter. The drivers really get nervous because they think they're going to start tearing tires up and blowing them out if it gets too tight. That's the reason they want to get down pit road and get this fixed quick.
See Marcus Ambrose's team using a baseball bat to clear the fenders from the tires.
That doesn't cost much money to get a bat, does it? I mean, that's a pretty
really
simple
good.
tool, yeah.
It works great.
It's good for the fenders, and no one messes with you on pit road either, so that's good security. Lap 77, we are just past the halfway point. Tony Stewart has led twice for 51 of the 76 laps thus far. Back with the green flag at Darlington in a moment. Welcome back to Darlington Raceway, under caution for the third time tonight. Now, the top 5 cars did not pit, including the leader, Tony Stewart. You wonder why he didn't come in? Let's listen in to his radio.
All right, bud, we're 5 laps short from being in our window to make it to the end. Copy that. Let's give up track position then. You make the call. You know what the scenarios are and what the situations are here, so I'm going to trust your judge. You know, you got to make the call, but this thing really likes clean air, bud.
And those that did pit, if we were to get some yellow flag laps, might be able to make it. So some strategy playing out. We're going to watch and see what happens. They are lined up 2 by 2 coming out of turn 4. Let's listen to the spotters as we go full throttle.
Get ready. Green, green, green. Checking up a little. Still out there. Still out. Inside. Still there. Still outside. Outside. 17. Clear low. Clear low. No pressure coming out. Still outside. Nice and smooth. Inside. Still there. Still inside. Clear now. Clear. For a quarter. Looking inside. All clear. Still there. Still there.
Spotters are very busy here at Darlington Raceway because there's a lot happening on the track. They got to watch traffic. They got to watch walls. And there your leader flashes by. Stewart, Kyle Busch, Bliss, Reagan, and Kenseth. Those 5 did not pit. The lucky dog was the 66 car, and he was the first car lap down and got the free pass. That is Stephen Wallace, and put him back on the lead lap. And he is the recipient of our Aaron's Lucky Dog free pass, and then we'll get him back into contention.
Like Kevin, these guys have been dicing and racing hard out there. These lap cars, they're really having a tough time, guys, getting around the lap cars. After the restart of this race, they're really getting clogged up out there.
Clogged up back for position. You nearly saw some contact there. Sam Hornish in the 12 car. Rusty talked about what a break he got to keep him going a lap down. That 12 car now being shown in 12th or make that 14th position. Whoa, the 29 car of Jeff Burton gets into the wall.
Yeah, he's got some hard contact there. He's got a problem with that right front. You see it towing out. Yeah, he's hit it really good there.
4-time winner Jeff Burton was running in 10th position. Mike?
Doc, just to try to shed some light on what might have occurred there just before Jeff Burton slapped the wall, he came over the radio and said, we're really tight. This car won't turn.
And that is a driver's nightmare, Rusty. You talked about, and Jeff said yesterday, once they start getting tight, it's just going to get tighter and tighter, and then it becomes so difficult to drive.
Well, you can tell right now that the tire's still up on the car. It's not flat, so he was so tight, he evidently lost it, got up in the wall, tore the car up. And you see Richard Childress there right now going, what in the world is going on?
And he has never had a car win at Darlington in NASCAR nationwide competition. Only 3 tracks they've never won on: Mexico City, Talladega, and here.
I tell you what, guys, one thing I noticed on these restarts, you really got to be careful because those guys were locking up, getting clogged up 2 and 3 wide, and they were all stacking up. And I believe Jeff Burton actually got involved in that big stack up off of turn 4 that time.
Show you again what happened here. We stay green at Darlington, 85 of 147 laps. Now watch the 29 car. That's up above Jason Keller's car.
He's right behind Jason Keller trying to make a move and just got loose, got up in the wall, and it really didn't look like the car was pushing at that point, Andy.
Well, it could have been that he was just tight and he backed off. Had the wheel cut, backed off the throttle to keep from pushing into the wall, and the back end jumped out from under.
It's called a pushy loose.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, got a big problem right
the
here.
The 4 car, that is Derek Cope, and he has hit it a ton as well.
Okay. I was just trying to get out of the way, you know what I mean, let him go. And
Now that's you see Brad Teague in the 52 car. That's the Jimmy Means owned car. He was involved. The 4 car, Brad Teague just spun around, but the damage is to Derek Cope. Driving for Jay Robinson. Derek, the former the Daytona 500 winner.
Now this is going to set it up for these guys, Tony Stewart, Kyle Busch, Mike Bliss, because they need to make a pit stop because they're inside their fuel window, and some of these other guys may be able to stay out.
Now, Andy, would all the cars in the lead lap pit right now? Take a look at this act. Go down to the apron. And, man, that is your worst nightmare right there.
Got a little tap from behind by the 0-1 Curtis Davis, and that was all that was necessary for the 4 car. There was the tap, and Derek Cope trying to hang on.
You could almost feel that one.
Well, Brad Teague did a nice job to miss him and then not hit anything with his car. Okay, here's the pit stop, which could be the final pit stop of the night. Tony Stewart, Kyle Busch, Mike Bliss, David Reagan, and David Rudiman. The top 5 headed down pit road at 45 miles an hour.
And Mike Bliss is in the 1 car. What a run he's had. He worked his way up to 30, maintained that. He just told his crew, we were hauling the mail those last 2 laps. 4 tires, air pressure adjustment for Bliss. Dave?
The 64 of David Stremme is in. They will take fuel only at this point. Biggest problem for Stremme right now, who had a fast run going, radio troubles. They've been having entirely too much trouble understanding each other over the radio.
The leader on pit road, they had talked about making a track bar adjustment, opted not to do it at the last minute. 4 tire change in Sunoco race fuel for Tony Stewart.
And they back up at the end of pit road. You see Tony Stewart jams the brakes on. There is the wreckers that are down there. They were being waved to go out on the racetrack, and some of the guys wanted to make sure they weren't going to get running in the back by a couple of the leaders. Pretty quick thinking by Tony Stewart to jam the brake on and not running in the back of a couple cars that had stopped. Under caution for the 4th time tonight here at Darlington. In 2 weeks, the NASCAR Nationwide Series moves to what has become a Memorial Day weekend tradition. We go to Charlotte, North Carolina, Lowe's Motor Speedway. Live coverage Saturday, May 24th, 7 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN2 of the NASCAR Nationwide Series. What a run a year ago. The fans were on their feet to watch the action side by side at the Beast of the Southeast. Yeah, tempers flaring, so were engines heating up. Cars spinning, but it was this guy who spun his way to victory lane, Casey Kane, all the way back from 32nd starting position. And oh, by the way, at that race, Dale Earnhardt Jr. will be our in-race reporter. We'll be talking to Jr. throughout the night at Lowe's Motor Speedway. Now let's show you what happened a moment ago with the bottleneck exiting pit road. Now we had wreckers down there. Now watch David Stremme come down pit road. Other cars leaving. There comes the 2 of Clint Boyer. You see Stremme stop. And word is that the light may have been red, just changing to green. Some of these guys slowed down to stop because of the safety vehicles that were parked there. Tony Stewart moving to the outside. Clint Boyer moving. There's Kyle Busch on the inside. Now we pan over. You can see that light is green now.
The problem is they're racing to that line to see how they line up when they come out on the racetrack. So they have to at least get past that line before they stop.
Well, let's see about what's going on the racetrack as we visit with our in-race reporter, Matt Kenseth, who also happens to be our leader here right now at Darlington.
Hey, Matt Kenseth, Rusty Wallace, ESPN. You got us?
Hey, I got you, Rusty.
Buddy, what's that track like out there right now? You guys have had enough time to kind of see which direction it's going to go. What's your opinion?
It's okay. You know, it's kind of, I guess, sort of what we thought. Track position is really, really important. Clean air is important. So I'm out here having a little drafting practice right now with Brett Bodine up here in front of me, saving a little gas. And Drew said we're good to go then. So I think track position is going to be one of the most important things. I know we don't have quite the fastest car, but, you know, he got me in a good spot here and do everything we can to hang on.
Matt, right now, do the cars have a lot of grip? Are they stuck good right now, or are they still skating around?
Really, really sensitive to dirty air. You know, we were running, could run almost what Tony was running until I'd catch a lap car. We'd back off, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 tenths even. Just couldn't, you know, even if you left your lane, you just can't get a turn. So with this hard tire and this new surface, it's pretty typical. You know, when you have a soft tire and you start losing the air in the front of the car or the back of the car, you still have a tire that has some grip. Where the tire is real hard, which they need to, so the tire will live. So when you lose the air off the car, it really chatters across the track, and it's difficult to get by some of them guys.
All right, man. Thanks for talking to us. Hold a pretty wheel and bring that baby home.
We'll do our best.
Hey, Drew, Blickensdorfer, you got a copy? It's Andy.
Hey, Andy.
You guys made your last pit stop. You staying out to the end here?
If everything goes well, we probably will. You know, we don't run full time, so Matt's in this car to try and win races. So if we can still win this way, or if we can get up front this way, clean air means so much that it will take the opportunity.
How many caution laps do you need to be able to make it to the end on the fuel you got?
I think if it goes green, we're pretty close right now.
Okay, 10-4. Have a good one.
Very sly. We're pretty close right now. We'll see how close they are and how many yellow flags they get. Now, one of the traditions here at Darlington is the Darlington stripe. It's been a part of this racetrack for 58 years, getting up and rubbing that right side wall. Now, the question is, what do you do here at Darlington to brace the right side of the car to be able to keep from getting significant damage when you hit it? Well, we have a guy who can tell you. How about a 6-time winner as a Darlington crew chief, Tim Brewer, down in our Chevy Cutaway car. Tim?
Thanks, Jerry. What we got here, folks, the outer skin of the car, it sets about 3.5 inches from the roll cage. So when we come to Darlington, we actually put 2x4s against the roll cage to keep the sheet metal off the tires and off the side of the car. It'll deter the Darlington stripe, but it won't deter a hard crash. Jerry?
All this technology, multi-million dollars in race cars, and Tim Brewer talks about, but I guess it works. They're using 2x4s, huh?
I think where this came from, I was Harry's crew chief back in like 1991, and we had a little problem with rubbing the wall in practice. And he said, why don't we just run down to Lowe's, get us some 2x4s and put it in against these bars, because I'm going to hit it again. I need to keep you from rocking the rear end over.
You know, I had a lot of people ask me, Andy, why don't they put that roll cage out there against the doors to start with? Well, NASCAR doesn't make you put it out that far. And if you don't have to put it out that far, it's going to make the car handle better, more left side weight for make the car turn better and handle better, too.
Now, by Harry, you're mentioning Harry Gant. Harry Gant could fix anything with a 2x4. Under caution here for the 4th time tonight. We're going to find out if these guys can indeed make it on fuel. Matt Kenseth, the leader, back with a restart at Darlington in just a moment. Welcome back to Darlington Raceway. Lap 94 complete, 53 to go. Matt Kenseth trying to win for the 3rd time. He pulls away by about 5 car lengths over Todd Bodine. And Bodine has about a 15 car length advantage over Mike Wallace back in 3rd.
Now's when it's going to get tricky for Kyle Busch and Tony Stewart. They're back in this traffic, and they don't have that clean air that they can run in. And Matt Kenseth now has it. Look at Todd Bodine, that 0-3 car. He's putting some pressure on that.
Boy, those restarts, Andy, they got blocked up again. Take a look at this crowd right here, led by Mike Wallace. They're going 2 and 3 wide, getting down in there. And like Tony Stewart said, he needs that clean air. And you see he's boggled up back there off of turn 4 right now.
David Stremme trying to hang on to the 7th position. Clint Boyer will go to the outside and take that spot away.
See just how beneficial that clear racetrack is for these leaders.
Well, track position's everything in the world, and they got it. He's going to gamble, Matt Kenseth is, that he can make it on fuel. And that's a long way to go right now. They're going to need some more cautions to make it that distance, but
I'm betting they're going to get them.
Well, I think you're probably right, too. Those Fords get pretty good gas mileage, especially those Roush Yates engines, which Kenseth has.
There's points leader Clint Boyer in the 2 car. He takes another spot as he goes beneath the 11 car. There's Boyer in the 2 and being shown in 7th position. More on Clint Boyer with Shannon.
Well, Clint Boyer in that 2 car, they've really been battling that car all night long, but they're happy with it now. In fact, they came down on that last pit stop. They only took 2 right side tires and fuel. Clint says no changes to the car. It's good.
Yes, Shannon, it looks like those 2 tires woke him up. He's passing cars, and this is the best I've seen this 2 car all night.
Well, we talked a long time whether this track was going to need 4 tires to 2 tires. A lot of the teams said it's just not wearing the tires. So, Andy, you predicted maybe one time we might not need any tires. It might just be fuel like David Stremme did.
Yeah, how strange is that? You come to Darlington to hear someone say 2 tires. Typically, you come here, they say, give me 4 on and put 2 in the trunk.
Oh, boy, on the old racetrack, it was so bad, guys, that I saw cars pitting on the old track after 10 laps. Now, if they didn't pit on lap 10 when the caution flag come out, hey, they get lapped. So they got spooked out, and everybody was putting a ton of tires on, and that's not happening tonight.
Again, the story, these two guys, the 17 and the 03, are among the 5 cars that pitted on lap 77 and are trying to stretch it. Let's check in on Todd Bodine with Shannon.
Yeah, Todd Bodine started this race 15th, running an impressive second right now. This is only his second start in the Nationwide Series this season. And when asked why he's running this race, he said, I'm just coming here to have fun. It's a short drive. He brought his crew chief and his team from the Truck Series, which incidentally he's running 3rd in the point standings right now. And they came down to Darlington for some good night racing.
Former winner here. As you watch the race cars, the leaders go by. Let's show you from high above this track and show you exactly why this track is so tough to tame. And so it is an egg-shaped oval, and these shots courtesy of our good friends at Goodyear for track-tested technology. Get there on Goodyear Innovation. Turns 3 and 4 pinched in because of a minnow pond. And speaking of pinched, here is Kyle Busch, and he has patted the wall pretty well up there with his Toyota left side.
He ran you right on that white line, dude.
I thought it was going to get tricky with these guys caught back in traffic.
Yeah, it really is. You're exactly right, Andy. This track position right now. And remember, folks, late in the races, these drivers really get tense, and they start heating up and getting excited about, getting all the positions they can. And so the top 6 or 8 that stayed out and didn't pit, they're liking it right now.
And now they've got some caution laps that are going to help them make it to the end on the fuel they have.
We'll show you again what happened to Kyle Busch. Now watch the move underneath David Reagan. Reagan there pulls away. Keselowski is there in the 88 car.
That's that same spot on the racetrack that you really can't race side by side.
Andy, that's exact same thing that happened to Brad Keselowski early in the race when he went down, got the left front tire on the apron, de-wedged the car. It actually took weight off the left rear tire and made the car get very loose. He didn't have no room to slide, got up into Keselowski and spun, and that's a classic mistake right there.
Now right along with Kyle Busch's onboard camera, and we show exactly what happened as he hits into the corner.
Down on the bottom.
Outside you.
Could you feel that one, Rusty?
Yeah, that one there hurt right there. And then, boy, when you're as a driver, you get down on that apron, you're going, man, why did I do this? Let me get out of this. And he was just too deep into it to back out.
Kyle Busch came in tonight 3rd in the NASCAR Nationwide Series points. Had assumed the points lead early on because Carl Edwards had gone to the garage area and Clint Boyer was having trouble. But now Kyle Busch has headed back to the garage area, the victim here of the Lady in Black, Darlington Raceway. Back with more in just a moment.
The NBA playoffs on ESPN and ABC continue tomorrow night with coverage of both Eastern Conference semifinals. First at 5 Eastern, Chauncey Billups and the Detroit Pistons, if Chauncey's able to make it, take on Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic in Game 4. Pistons lead 2-1. That's on ESPN. Then 8 Eastern on ABC, Kevin Garnett and the Boston Celtics go into Cleveland to take on LeBron James and the Cavaliers. Celtics up 2-0 in that series. NBA playoffs conference semifinals. ESPN and ABC Saturday night, your destination for the NBA playoffs. Or log on to ESPN.com. We're getting down to it here at Darlington. Before we get the restart, let's check in with Jamie Little.
And Kyle Busch out of the car and already changed. Kyle, 3-man battle heating up there for a while. How did it end in the wall for you?
Well, I mean, I hate it most of all for Behringer and all these guys on this Toyota team. You know, Braun Racing just doesn't deserve this second car I've destroyed for him in 2 races. But you know, I could say and take the blame, but I can't on this one. I mean, we've got a lap car that's out there that's racing with us leaders, showing disrespect. And, you know, next time I'm a lap down and I've got damage, I'm going to race him like an SOB and wreck him too.
Kyle, let me ask you about the racing. You guys were talking about it's going to be hard to pass here. You were making the passes all night, though. Was it as difficult as you thought?
Yeah, it was, because you get aero tight behind guys. You just can't get a run off the corner. You can't get by them. And, you know, it's hard, but, you know, Stewart was being able to make some moves. I was being able to make some moves, but, you know, unfortunately there I got a good run off the corner, and being smart I didn't make it 3 wide, but then you've got a lap car that still goes in on my outside and you know, comes all the way down. I mean, I was all the way on the flat. I don't know what else I could have done different. All
right, frustrated Kyle Busch. Alan?
Tough night for championship leaders. 2 of the 3 guys in that tight fight for the points out here at Darlington. Inside our ESPN pit studio is Greg Biffle, the man who will start on the pole for tomorrow night's NASCAR Sprint Cup Series 500 miler. Congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. It was a great run. You know, the car just did a great job. You know, the guys did a great job getting the car ready, and just couldn't be more excited about starting on the front row here at Darlington.
Getting ready for the restart. I'll ask you more about tonight's race in just a second. You've been watching. First, your foundation Greg Biffle Foundation was on a race car. Unfortunately, it's out of the race tonight. What were you doing?
Well, it was, it was Kurt Baker they were doing running that car, didn't have a sponsor, and volunteered to put the name, on the car to bring awareness to the foundation. And what a sport to be part of. NASCAR Nationwide Series and the Sprint Cup Series. There's so many people that care about what we do and things we care about, and it was exciting for us for those guys to get our name out there and talk about it. Especially, we got NASCAR Day coming up May 16th, so lots of things going on.
And NASCAR Day being your foundation being one of the charities that benefits from NASCAR Day.
Absolutely.
And you're going to be part of the telethon that's coming up the 16th through the 19th, answering phone calls and all that.
That's right. And if you want to call into that thing, it's 188 May 16th. So everybody call into the NASCAR telethon May 16th.
All right, we're going to watch this restart here.
Absolutely.
Then I want to ask you a little bit about what you're seeing here tonight. You're a two-time winner out here in the Cup Series and a Nationwide Series winner. I want to get your opinion before we let you go. First, green flag with 40 laps to go, and Matt Kenseth out in front. Clint Bowyer's got his hands full in 3 and 4. Big wiggle. A couple of guys shuffling by him, including Tony Stewart in that 20 car. One of the guys that Bowyer had come off pit road ahead of a little while ago. Tight.
Just got in the fence.
Boy, that's close.
Greg, as these cars run, and we've watched them struggle with grip a little bit this evening as the sun's going down. What about your Sprint Cup car tomorrow? I know Goodyear's brought a nice rugged tire. What do you think? How are you guys going to race tomorrow, do you think?
Well, it's certainly, you really have to tiptoe. You're racing your heart out there. But the thing about this racetrack is it is so tough, too tough to tame. And they talk about the Darlington Stripe. The problem is the Darlington Stripe is a lot meaner now. We're going 2 seconds a lap, 3 seconds a lap faster, and that car slips up a little bit, just like we saw Clint Bowyer do, and it smashes the whole right side in onto the tire, like Carl Edwards at the beginning of the race, and cuts the tire. So the margin for error now is even less than it used to be at Darlington.
What's the key? I mean, do you have to be really, you can't be super aggressive. Obviously, you want to race the racetrack, but how do you do that? What do you have to do in order to have a successful day?
Well, you just have to hold your mouth right inside that car, hold your breath, and just hope that the car doesn't slide up the racetrack. This tire is a great tire, but before, we could feel the car slide. This tire has a lot of grip, but when it lets go, or you get up in the marbles or the fuzz or offline a little bit, it takes off so fast that it just hits the fence.
There's great race for second place here. Todd Bodine in the 03, Mark Martin in the 5, Jason Leffler in the 38, and one of the guys that's dominated the race, Tony Stewart, trying to get back through to the front. Last question I'll have about tonight's race for you, Greg. Did you ever think you'd see tire strategy play in a Darlington race? I mean, Kenseth stayed out on the last caution.
I know, isn't that crazy? You'd have never thought. And I'm the guy, I heard earlier on the broadcast, 6 laps they're going to pit. I'm leading the race, 6 laps on my tires. Everybody pits behind me. I almost went a lap down before the next caution came out with 6 laps on my tires.
It's amazing. But we'll see how it plays out for Kenseth. He's out in front by nearly 3 seconds. Greg, thank you, and good luck with the foundation and on NASCAR Day.
Thank you very much.
Greg Biffle, pole sitter for tomorrow night's Sprint Cup Series races. Mark Martin gets under Todd Bodine for second. Here comes Tony Stewart for third. Those two guys 2.5 seconds behind the race leader, Matt Kenseth. With 34 laps to go, without the help of a caution, can they catch him? That's the question. We will come back to Darlington for the final laps of this one. There is your leader, Matt Kenseth, in the closing moments.
Welcome back to Darlington Raceway. Aerial coverage provided by our good friends at Goodyear for track-tested technology. Get there on Goodyear Innovation. Take a look at our Holiday Inn Express race summary. Staying under green, there have been 8 different leaders, 10 lead changes. Average speed thus far, 118.176 miles per hour. Still 16 cars that are on the lead lap. Matt Kenseth, our leader. There have been 23 laps under caution. And there are 13 cars out of the race, including Carl Edwards and Kyle Busch. By the way, Denny Hamlin, the defending winner of this race a year ago and the year before, did not even qualify tonight, having contact with the wall. You're looking for Hamlin just like that in qualifying earlier today.
Coming this time.
Matt Kenseth on pit road with 27 laps to go. And the 20 car of Tony Stewart will be our new leader.
Better put 4 on it since we know they're tight.
Headed down toward you, Dave.
Shaking badly is what he's saying. And that's a feeling in the steering wheel. They're going to change right side tires to begin with. They didn't think they had any issues. It might be a loose wheel, but remember, they've been out there for a long time. They're going to change all 4 in this case because they don't know what the issue is. Another tough break for Matt Kenseth, leading at the end of one of these races. And today he's going to have to give it up again. He's gone.
Frustration for Matt Kenseth, is still trying to get. That's the car he won with at Atlanta early in the year. And it's the only Ford win in 11 races thus far for the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Vibration, you can't take a chance here at Darlington.
It had to be a loose wheel, I'm sure, but man, that's a tough break for Matt. He had a fast enough car, I think, to hold off Tony Stewart if it goes green, but he won't know now because had to make that stop.
Battle for position here. David Stremme will take this spot away. Stremme now 5 top 10 finishes in his last 6 starts, trying to make it 6 top 10 finishes as he has moved now into the 10th spot in the point standings, despite the fact that Stremme did not compete at Mexico City. Max Pappas drove this car. Pretty good, the fact that you've missed a race and you're still top 10 in points.
He's had a great season so far, and he is, he's kind of been the centerpiece of this team, Rusty. He seems to bring everybody together, brought the performance level up a notch.
He's such a mature person, Andy, really is. He's really helped our team a ton. And you just got to believe just a matter of time before this guy gets a good cup ride, because I'll tell you, he is awful doggone good, and somebody's going to snap him up pretty soon. But at least he's in a car right now. He's getting a lot of experience driving his guts out.
This is Mother's Day weekend, and it was his mom, Cindy, who first helped him learn to drive cars. She drove short tracks in and around South Bend, Indiana. In fact, he drove his mom's pink race car at the age of 15 to his very first short track win. So he said, you know, his mom and dad, but his mom was a major part in helping him become a NASCAR stock car driver.
You know, I was talking to him about going back home. I said, David, aren't you going to take a vacation on your off weekend? He said, I hate vacations. I just want to drive. I want to be in a car all the time. And he said, I love being in that 64 car. Dave?
You guys mentioned Mom. By the way, she's running tonight in Jones, Michigan at the M40 Speedway. Good luck, Cindy. David has had not the use of the radio most of the night. Talk about having what you have and not being able to change it. The last time he came down pit road for fuel only, they were not able to understand anything that he wanted to tell them about the race car. So they just gave him the fuel, sent him back out. I later asked Dale Ferguson, the crew chief, do you have any idea the condition of his race car? He said, nope, no idea. He's got what he has, and he's driving it as fast as he can.
What does that do to a driver when you suddenly lose communications?
Well, I mean, when you lose communications, you feel like you're out on an island all by yourself with no help. And you just hope that when you have to make a decision and do something down pit road, the guys are ready for you. I mean, I have no idea why he's having radio problems. He's got the best equipment money can buy in that car. Evidently, they broke a wire or something's failed somewhere.
It's even frustrating for the crew because they want to work on the car to make it better, but having no input whatsoever, you can't adjust it at all.
Here's a battle, Clint Boyer, the points leader, coming in, and young 20-year-old Stephen Wallace. And great effort by Stephen. He was running in the top 5 until Tony Stewart got by him, but he still hung there right now in 6th position.
They got a really good car right here, Jerry. They're pretty happy with this. In fact, this was an old DEI car. I shouldn't say old. Oh, we got a crash in the front straightaway. Matt Kenseth.
Stay on the brake here. Stay on the brake. Safe stop right there. You all right?
Matt Kenseth.
This point's with him.
You see him pulling the gloves and the steering wheel off. He had made the unscheduled stop because of a vibration, a chattering, and now he's had some pretty heavy contact.
Yeah, he's hit the wall hard here with this car. See all the fluids coming out of it.
There's a lot of metal on the front straightaway, fenders and bumpers laying out there. He's really hit it hard, guys.
He was our in-race reporter, and Kenseth had led twice for 35 laps. Now let's ride along on the onboard camera, see if we can detect what happened.
Hang on there, hang on.
Well, it's hard to say
Stay on the
what.
brake here, stay on the brake. Stay stopped right there.
Hard to say what caused it, but it looked like the car got real loose over there and just got behind on the steering a little bit.
You know, the crazy thing, Andy, is that he's out there by himself. I mean, this guy's been dominating the race late by staying out in the field. I wouldn't say dominate, but running awful good. It's good to see him get out of that car okay, guys.
Safety worker trying to steer him back up into the vehicle, but looks like Matt's not real happy about something. Normally a very composed and poised driver. Looks like he's a little bit upset.
Well, we were riding along with Matt, and we don't know exactly why he got loose. Matt may know more than we do.
They have stopped the cars on the backstretch. You see Carl Edwards there talking with Jack Roush, and they're not real happy either. Apparently they saw something. We'll try to find out what exactly happened with Matt Kenseth. And Carl now reassuring, talking to Jack Roush. They have stopped the cars on the backstretch because of all the debris here out of turn 4 down the front straightaway. We'll take a break and come back and see if we can unravel the mystery of Matt Kenseth in a moment.
The journey to the 2008 Indy 500 begins Saturday with pole day. Last month, Danica Patrick won her first IndyCar race, fueling her confidence at the Brickyard, while Dancing with the Stars champion Helio Castroneves needs more than a two-step to claim a third Indy title. Pole day begins tomorrow, noon Eastern on ESPN2, and continues at 2 p.m. Eastern on ABC.
Plenty more racing coming your way this weekend. Action NASCAR now, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Tomorrow, ESPN2. And, of course, live coverage of pole competition. Indy 500 pole day, noon and 6 Eastern time tomorrow on ESPN2. It's on ABC tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And Indy 500 time trials, noon and 5 Eastern time. Sunday, ESPN2. Of course, NASCAR now will wrap it all up 5:30 Eastern time Monday on ESPN2. But Marty Reed, Scott Goodyear, and Eddie Cheever joining the crew this year. And Indianapolis should be fun to watch. Who's going to be on the pole? Can Danica Patrick pull it off? She almost got there as a rookie in 2005 and ended up finishing 4th in the Indianapolis 500. Here's a guy we thought would be a factor to win tonight, Matt Kenseth. And he had made the unscheduled stop because he had a vibration or a chatter, and we alluded going to break a moment ago that he might have had some contact. Let's show you that there was actually no one around him when this car spun.
It looked like he was upset with somebody when he got out of the car, but guys, I think he's upset at himself.
It's a typical Darlington deal where you get up out of that car.
You see him, come on.
Just enough.
Hoping for the best finish in 2008. Now Jason Leffler.
That was the Kevin Harvick look, and now Matt Kenseth riding along with him, and the car just looped around and hits hard impact in the safer barrier on the inside to bring out caution number 6. The NASCAR Nationwide Series at Darlington is presented by Coleman, the outdoor company. Let's go outside. And in part by Circuit City. Circuit City makes it simple to shop, buy, and enjoy. It's simplicity guaranteed. We are under a red flag condition here at Darlington. Hard contact by the 17 car of Matt Kenseth. Let's visit with Matt. Jamie standing by.
Well, the good news is he's walked out and he's okay. He even smiled a couple times. Matt, any indication leading into that? I know you had a vibration. You guys pitted. Did it fix the problem or not so much?
Yeah, first of all, I apologize to the guys at the shop who prepared such a fast race car. It's not their fault. We got tires rolling across pit road and we got loose wheels, so it's not their fault. And I should never wreck the car. I was just, we had left to right front wheel loose and it cost us a race. And I was back there and they said the lucky dog was in turn 1 and I was in turn 4 and I was just driving way over my head to try to somehow get a miracle and get a late caution and get back in the race. So I just let it get away from me from driving it too hard, but just really frustrating. You know, Drew and all them guys have been doing a great job preparing equipment, but just 2 weeks in a row we just threw it away on our last stop, and it's just frustrating.
All right, well, tough break for Matt Kenseth, guys, but it was an unrelated incident that put him out of the race. Doc?
Thank you, Jamie. The frustration was then what was happening in the pits. He said tires rolling across pit road and obviously a loose wheel, and that's just got to be just frustrating for a driver.
Well, he's just talking about mistakes on pit road. he's kind of apologized to the fab shop, the guys that build these race cars, because, you know, like you said, they're not responsible for the pit stops. But, man, it's just tough down there. I know I've been a pit crew member. I've, you know, changed a lot of tires, and you make mistakes.
Well, you do, and I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be a pit crew member for nothing in the world. Those guys are incredible down there. I mean, I like to have a big old bull coming at you. You got to jump out in front of that baby, man. I'm telling you, that's a tough one to handle, and they're good. They really are. And every now and then you make a mistake.
And you see the competitive side of a driver. He was saying despite the fact that he had lost the time, he was driving the car, trying to become the lucky dog and get back on the lead lap. There was no give up in Matt Kenseth.
Okay, we see these crews right here. They're getting ready to make a pit stop or not. We'll see some of these guys probably stay out.
Okay, crew chief, tell me now, there was a handful of cars that pitted on laps 77, 78. They going to make it now?
I think they can make it on fuel, but it depends now. Some of these guys that are back in this running order a little bit, they'll come in to make sure they can make it, number one. Number two, that those new tires might still help a little bit, so they'll probably come in. I think the leaders are going to stay out. Tony Stewart, I'm sure, is going to stay out.
Remember the guys who were short on fuel who might have been cutting it close, Mark Martin, Todd Bodine, and Stephen Wallace. The last time they were on pit row was lap 77, 78. But all these yellow flag laps have certainly helped him. And indeed, those leaders will stay out, as Andy predicted.
Well, Jerry, if you do the math, which I'm not real good at math, it looks like these guys can make it. Generally, you figure 2-to-1 on a caution flag. If you run one lap on the green, if you're on caution, you can really figure that as 2 laps. If you use that, looks like they can make it.
The leaders did not pit. Stremme and a few others that are on the lead lap did pit. So while they rotate behind the pace car, we'll take a break and come back with the restart at Darlington here in just a moment. Welcome back to the NASCAR Nationwide Series at Darlington, presented by the Coleman Company. Well, folks, there are 15 laps to go. Tony Stewart is our leader, and this is one of the few tracks that Tony Stewart has never won in a NASCAR stock car, in Cup or Nationwide Series. Now, behind Tony is the guy we can nickname Mr. Darlington, Mark Martin. We told you at the top of the show, he owns all the major records there. 8 poles, 8 wins, most top 5s, top 10s, laps led. Mark Martin has basically owned this place. He has won 3 times in his last 5 starts and finished second here a year ago. He finished second, by the way, to the cars running right in front of him that had Denny Hamlin in it last year. It's the same Toyota that Tony Stewart is driving tonight.
It's just amazing how the 20 car, every single race, guys, just seems like it just handles perfect with whatever driver, runs great. The crew chiefs making good calls, and I've been amazed.
You got to hand it to Dave Rogers, the crew chief on the car, and all the guys that work on it, because it is a very consistent race team that runs up front week in, week out.
Now, we know Tony Stewart's a great driver, but like we said earlier, they had 3 different drivers in this car with the same results.
And a very hungry Jason Leffler back there. Remember his win? He got the first Toyota win ever at O'Reilly Raceway Park last July. By the way, you Bobby Hamilton fans, he had a blown engine. He is in the garage area. Tough night for Bobby Hamilton and the Ed Renzi team. Getting set for the restart. Can Tony Stewart hold him off? How about Mr. Darlington, Mark Martin? Can he get there? Leffler is there. Todd Bodine is there. Here they come for the green flag. Mark Martin not letting Tony Stewart get away. Stewart has 11 lap fresher tires than does Martin.
Just before that last caution flag, Mark Martin in this 5 car was as fast as Tony. Now, I don't know if Tony was just kind of easing up a little bit or not, but he was able to keep pace with him after they ran a few laps.
And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't bet against Mark Martin, that's for sure. He knows exactly what he's doing at this racetrack, whether it's new asphalt, old asphalt, whatever, because he knows you got to drive this track, not race the competitors.
You know what's really impressive, too, is they did not get one single lap of practice on this race car. They crashed in practice in the final practice with their primary car, got this car out, got it ready to go, and first lap on the track was qualifying.
Andy, how close are the cars nowadays?
I'm sure they're real close. As a matter of fact, I talked to Chad Walter, the crew chief, and he was really agonizing over every single adjustment on this car to make sure it was right, and it looks like he's done a great job.
Tony Stewart now pulling away to a 1.1 second interval. Remember, he had never won at Talladega in anything this year, and he stopped that streak by winning in the Nationwide car there. Can he do the same thing at Darlington? It'll be 10 laps to go this time by. Martin is second. Leffler hanging third. Great run for Boyer back there in fourth. Todd Bodine fifth. Stephen Wallace, how about the young 20-year-old hanging there in sixth spot?
These guys just got to be cool right now. This race is winding down with 10 laps to go, and this is where they usually get so wound up.
He just got against the wall. Whoa, Reagan hard in the wall.
David Reagan hits it hard, goes right across in front of traffic.
Just starting to say you can feel the intensity heating up with these guys. I mean, when you get 10 laps to go inside 10, man.
Got up under the 64 off of 2 there.
They just get wound up.
Tough night for the points competitors. David Reagan came in fourth in the point standings.
You talk to these veteran drivers, and Rusty, you know just as well as anybody that you can't let your guard down one lap around this racetrack, even at the end of the race.
No, you can't. Let's take a look at this. He gets right up against Stephen Wallace as he loses downforce in spin. He's got the 64 car of David Stremme behind him. Worst position for Reagan to be in. Completely lost all the air off his car there.
So he knocked the rear springs out of the car. You can see that safer barrier giving when that car hit. So those things really do their job.
A very tough night for Jack Roush's cars. There's the 6 car. That's the last car of the 3 that he had actually running competitively. The 60 car of Carl Edwards hit the wall in lap 1. You just saw what happened a few laps ago to the 17 of Kenseth. And now here comes the last of the 3 Jack Roush cars. There's the rub between the 6 and the 66.
And guys, there just was no room at all. And one thing that I remember, the 6 car of David Reagan had brand new tires on. His car was probably faster than most of them up in front of him. And he knew that. He had that grip and he's going for it because there's 10 to go. And just pushed the limit a little too much.
Spring out of the back of David Reagan's car, still lying on the racetrack. And the carnage we talked about at Darlington Raceway. Tough night for Roush Fenway drivers. Reagan is off. Kenseth and Edwards are both out of the race here. Back with a restart with 8 laps to go. It is a Memorial Day weekend tradition deep in the heart of stock car country. Yep, 2 weeks from now, the Nationwide Series moves to the home track of many of these teams, Lowe's Motorist Speedway. We will be there for our live coverage Saturday, May 24th, 7 o'clock Eastern time. What a run a year ago for Casey Kane, who came all the way from 32nd position to win that race. And we will be there for all the action. And by the way, Dale Earnhardt Jr. will be driving a 3rd car from his stable. He will be our in-race reporter during that event that night. While we have extensive cleanup here under caution for the 7th time at Darlington Raceway, let's get you up to speed, get you a nationwide up to speed, beginning with our leader and Mike Massaro.
Well, Doc, in every sport, there's an athlete who is simply so talented that he changes the way the game is played. Here in the Nationwide Series in 2008, it's an entire organization, Joe Gibbs Racing. In particular, this 20 car. They've won 3 consecutive races and are looking for a 4th in a row. Their plan, their strategy down the final laps here, according to Dave Rogers, do exactly what we planned before the race. He was very cryptic, would not explain exactly what that plan was, but he knew that his driver understood. He just told Tony, take care of your equipment and keep the pedal down. Meanwhile, the guy behind him, Mark Martin, he may have missed his opportunity at winning. During the red flag session, he came over the radio and said the only chance we have at beating that 20 car is if we beat them off pit road. Of course, neither one actually made a pit stop. Dave?
Right behind them in 3rd place, Mike, is the 38 of Jason Leffler. When he did his qualifying run earlier today, they came on the radio and told him his time. He said, "You're kidding." It was very slow. He started this race 19th. The team has battled back. They've made changes that have made that car faster. One change that made the car a little bit slower is the damage to the front end. Jason says it's hurting me down the straightaways, but I think I might be able to get at least one of these guys at the end. Shannon?
Well, Dave, it certainly has been a tough day for some of those points leaders, the guys in the top 5. Not Clint Boyer, your points leader coming into this race. Now, they were going to come down and pit on that last pit stop, but they opted to stay out, keep their track position, and finish with a strong finish because they know with Carl Edwards and Kyle Busch out of the race, this is a great points night for that number 2 team. Now, Todd Bodine, what a great run. Is only his 2nd start of the Nationwide Series this season, currently running 5th. He started this race 15th. He won at this track back in 2003. He does have a little bit of contact on that right front fender from an incident that happened earlier, but Todd says he is good to go to the end, and they're looking for a top 5. Doc.
David Ruderman behind him. He's 6th on the track. He is 6th in the point standing. Stands the game big time tonight because 3 of the top 5 in the points you've already heard are out of this event if he can get a top 5 finish. Behind him in the 66 car, how about Stephen Wallace? Coming off his career first top 5 finish at Richmond a week ago. He finished 5th. His teammate David Strimmy finished 6th. And guess what? They are running nose to tail here right now. It is Stephen Wallace in 7th and Strimmy in the 64 car showing back at 8th.
You got Kelly Byers and this one car, Mike Bliss. He made a pit stop for tires. He's got fresh tires. He doesn't have a lot of time to use them, but he's got them. He'll probably try to make a few spots up here.
And I got to believe the new tires are doing something. Not a whole lot, but on restarts, it seems like the guys are a little bit quicker on those new tires. But when we go back to green, guys, it looks like there's going to be only 2 or 3 laps to go. And Mike Wallace has been doing a heck of a run all night long. He's 11th right now. Good, strong run. Jason Keller, 12th position.
Jason Keller, by the way, the 1-year anniversary of this team coming together. He is from nearby Travelers Rest, South Carolina. Started all the way at the back of the field because of an engine change. Great effort for Jason and his team to be all the way up in 12th position.
Marcus Ambrose sitting there in 13th spot right behind Jason Keller. He's having a great run. You know, he got a little damage to the right side, but his car's still very competitive. And Sam Hornish back there in that 12 car. How about Sam?
Jerry, what about Sam Hornish? He's supposed to be at Indianapolis, and here he is at Darlington. You know, he's got to be feeling a little bit different, but he's committed to stock cars now.
Told me yesterday he had never seen this track except on television when he was getting ready before Indy Pole Day a year ago about watching this race, thinking about what was going to happen on Indy. Great effort for Sam Hornish. And how about the driver of that car number 9, 21-year-old Chase Miller, making his first ever trip to Darlington, only his 9th career start in the series.
He'd never even seen the racetrack on the lead lap. Great job.
4 laps to go, folks. 143 are in the books. Tony Stewart has never won here in a stock car. Possibly a story developing on the 38 of Jason Leffler. Dave?
The last time down the backstretch, Doc, he dropped to the apron immediately because he thought that the car was going to run out of fuel. It stumbled on him. He thinks he's got it pumping fuel again. The pressure is back up on that fuel gauge, but they don't know. He watched this restart, make sure he gets going for the cars behind him.
Yeah, he better hope she's got pressure when they get ready to go green because these guys are going to be going for it.
Yeah, they'll stack up behind him if that thing stumbles and he gets run over, but that's going to happen now in these restarts with all this banking on his track. He should be okay once he gets going.
Yeah, they're hoping so. Here we go. It'll be 4 to go. Can Tony Stewart hold off Mark Martin, who has been the king of Darlington over the years? What about the 38 car? He takes off and Martin does not take off. He gets turned into the wall. Contact, the 47 of Byers involved.
They're wrecking now. Come on.
This is definitely a fuel situation that caused this.
Oh, man, I can't believe this for Mark Martin. He had such a good run going on and run out of gas, he said. And we were worried about that. The car stumbled, it didn't go.
Mark, you okay, bud? Yeah.
You thought it might.
Ran out of gas, sure. But
You thought it was going to be Leffler, but it was the Martin car, the 5 car that didn't go, and then Leffler got into the back of him, turned him, and that's the result. That's what's left of the backup car. Mark already having damage to 1 car in practice yesterday. There's Mike Bliss.
Looks like they're red flagging this thing, Jerry. They're going to stop him on the bottom of the apron, getting into turn 3. And Andy, you know, when they're on the banking out of fuel, it runs away from that pickup that's in the right rear corner of the fuel cell. And you got to believe that's what happened to Mark Martin and what Jason Leffler's complaining about.
That's just the risky part of running these cars low on fuel when you have these late caution flags. Once you get racing, the car will pick up fuel because it'll sling it over into that pickup. But right here, you can see the fuel is just not close to the pickup. They stumble. Mark Martin's car doesn't even go. Jason Leffler just caught by surprise, and all these guys just get stacked up behind them. Man.
4 laps, 3 laps to go now, and all this is coming down. Fuel related, and the guys that were going to try to make it on fuel, some of them had a problem. Leffler, the 5 car, Mark Martin. Take a look at this. Jason just couldn't get it slowed down.
How did Clint Boyer get through that?
He just did, Jerry, but I'll tell you, how did a lot of them clear Mark Martin? The 2 cars cleared him, and then the rest of them piled into him.
Jason Keller does a nice job. Tough break for the 7 car. Sam Hornish has some damage and heavy damage on Kelly Byers' car.
Boy, Well, you can see from that replay right there how little time you have to react. Mike Bliss has nowhere to go.
Now, right along with Mike Wallace, he was trying to get through it. He ends up with heavy contact. Boom.
And Mike just didn't have nowhere to go. You thought maybe he could go to the outside, go to the inside, but he went for the center, the clear spot, and they came right across in front of him. So it's crazy. We talked about this, Andy, about these guys not going on the start, but we were worried about Leffler, and it happened to Mark Martin.
Earlier in the race, this wouldn't be quite so bad because these guys wouldn't be up on it so quick to get up speed. They actually will have a little give and take. But at the end of the race, they're trying to get every inch, and that's what caused this.
Now, here's the problem they're going to have, guys. They're going to try to restart this race. The bottom of this racetrack is really dirty, got a lot of debris on it. They're going to have to get down on the flat to get fuel over to that right rear pickup. And that point, when you do that, guys, you worry about blowing a tire out.
Listen to this crowd, how much they respect Mark Martin and appreciate what he has done and the great thrills he has given them over the years. The 49-year-old 8-time winner here. And by the way, for you Mark Martin fans, he will be back at a nationwide car at Michigan in August, Kansas in September, and Texas in November. But that's what's left of his ride here at Darlington tonight. Well, they will clean up the carnage. It involves 6 different cars down in turn 1. We'll take a break and come back and set up what should be quite a finish here at the track. Too tough to take.
Darlington Raceway, South Carolina. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear for track-tested technology. Get there on Goodyear Innovation. Well, the old track, Too Tough to Tame, has proven to be a handful for some tonight. We're under the 8th caution flag and the 2nd red flag of this race.
I tell you, Alan, that was really uneventful there. I mean, we thought it was going to be just a clean restart, and we were just sitting back, relaxing. Nothing's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, Mark Martin, fuel pickup doesn't pick up any fuel, and big melee.
And now that Mark has shown us that running out of fuel causes big trouble, we're going to have a race with overtime. As you watch what happens, 2nd car from the left.
Jason Leffler just runs right into his left rear, turns him into the wall. Poor old Kelly Byers, who had a great run going, just got turned by Mike Bliss, who had nowhere to go, and then the carnage just unravels there, tears up a lot of race cars. Mike Wallace, as you see, tears up his race car, and I'll tell you, we could be in for this again once we go back to green.
So the key to getting ready for this green-white checker finish for those guys who now have to run a couple of more laps than they initially planned, and we're already stretching fuel, is getting all of what's left in the tank into the fuel system of the car. For more on that, we head over to our ESPN Dish Tech Center. Tim Brewer going to show us how it works.
Thanks, Alan. What we got, this is the actual fuel pickup that's in the right rear corner of the car. The reason we put it over here, folks, as you go through the corner, centrifugal force forces all the fuel to the right rear corner. What Leffler was doing when he got down off the banking a while ago, he was trying to get the fuel doors right here to open up and contain some fuel in there, anticipating a restart. But what the problem was, he didn't have enough fuel in there with Mark Martin's car, and when his car stalled, he basically ran into it. But the reason it's over here is to pick up every ounce of fuel. Didn't do his job that time. Alan?
Yeah, you got to have fuel in there to pick up. I think is the key to that equation.
Absolutely, and centrifugal force is what causes that. And when you're moving slowly, it just doesn't work.
Well, Mark Martin was second a minute ago. Now he's in the garage, and Jamie is with him.
And he's out of the medical center. You know, we were all talking about Jason Leffler being short on fuel, and I believe you knew he was short on fuel. Did you know you were?
I didn't have a clue, and I want to apologize to everybody that got tore up in that wreck. You know, I didn't ever have any sign of it. When I took off, it took off, and then it just laid over. And when it laid over, I checked behind me, and Jason looked to the inside, so I didn't, you know, I was afraid he'd run over me if I cut left real quick, so I kind of tried to hold my line, and the wreck was on. You know, it's just it's a bad deal when a car doesn't take off up in the very front of the line, but I didn't have a clue that was going to happen. I want to thank Chad Walters and the GoDaddy.com team. That race car had not seen the racetrack till today. It was a very fine race car, and it was a privilege to drive. I hate it that it worked out that way. Just too many cautions there at the end, I think.
Mark, had you had enough fuel? Do you think you had something for that 20 car at the end?
No, but I don't think we'd had any problem if we could have finished it under the green. You know, when you're running around there, you know, the pickups get away, the fuel gets away from the pickup. And I think we'd have been fine if we'd have been up to speed, and it never showed any sign of sputtering. I thought we were good. I really felt like I'd saved a lot of gas that whole run, and I didn't have a clue that we would wind up short.
All right, 8-time winner Mark Martin out of the race. For more on this, let's go to Dave Burns.
Yeah, Jamie, and it's interesting down here. Paul Wolfe has been in conversations with Jason Leffler, and the calculators have been running down here, and you've got damage on that race car, Paul. You got a series of problems here. Do you need to pit, or can you stay out and try to make a couple of positions up here?
Well, it's frustrating because we've had such a fast car tonight, and we feel like we need to pit. We're not sure. We should be really good on fuel, but I don't know if we have a pickup problem or something. And then having the damage too, we need to get a good finish for points and keep this Great Clips Toyota up front, as long as we could, but it just seems like we kept running into trouble. So frustrating night, but we'll see what we can do. It's not over yet.
On the upside, you started way back in row number 9 and came all this way, Paul.
Yeah, we didn't qualify like we thought we needed to. Not sure why there, but we had a fast race car. Once we got it up front and clean air, everything was good. So, it was a good weekend for us. The finish might not show, but we know we had a good car and something to build on.
All right, thanks, Paul. Good luck to the end here. Shannon, what's happening up at the leaders pit?
Well, Dave, we're here with Dave Rogers, crew chief for the 20. We've been talking to you a lot this season, Dave, going for a 4th win in a row. Tony Stewart, obviously the dominant car today, but I asked you how you feel going into this last restart, and you said nervous. Why?
Nervous. This is racing. Anything can happen. You got Clint Boyer behind you. You got Jason Leffler behind you, and who knows? We might be the next to stumble on this restart and get run over. So a lot can happen in a couple laps, especially here at Darlington. But we're real happy with this Old Spice Toyota Camry. Run real fast. We hope we can bring it home with a win.
What has Tony said to you on the radio over the past couple laps with Jason Leffler and Clint Boyer behind him?
Not much. He's got his game face on now. He's focused. He said he's been watching them in the mirror, so he knows what they're doing. He's just real quiet. He's ready to get this thing turned green so we can go racing.
All right, well, good luck to you. Dave Rogers, crew chief for the number 20 car. Doc.
Shannon, you heard Paul Wolfe a moment ago talking about how important the points are. Jason Leffler came in 8th in the points, and we've had so many of the drivers, 5 of the top 10 drivers come into the night have had issues with the with the cars. And you see that's the current standings as they run right now. Carl Edwards had a problem. Mike Bliss has now been damaged. David Reagan is in the wall. He's out of the race. Talked about Jason Leffler's damage. Brad Keselowski brought out 2nd caution flag today as he pancaked the wall, having to go to the back of the pack to start the race because of damage in qualifying. Mike Wallace just a moment ago damaged, and so some of the guys here in these final few laps stand to really gain. David Stremme among them to be able to move up, and of course that pit stop is not going to help Jason Leffler. He's going to have to come down pit road here, as you heard, and get some of that damage pulled away, and also to get a little touch of fuel.
Jerry, if I was looking right, it looked like 7 out of the top 10 have had problems right now. I mean, badly crashed cars, so this point stand is really going to get jumbled up like you said. But I tell you what, guys, the thing I'm nervous about right now, these guys low on fuel, sitting up on that banking, they got to get down on this flat. I mean, they've got to get way down about right here, guys, to get this fuel picked up. If they're sitting on this banking angle up here right now, they're going to have a problem. They got to get those motors fired up, start swerving that car around, get those trap doors, Andy, full of fuel again.
Try to get that fuel. If they can get it over to that corner, those doors will shut and then hold the fuel in that corner. So that's why you see them swinging it back and forth, trying to sling some fuel over there, maybe put a little bit in that little reservoir, and then they'll have enough for this start.
The 20 car of Tony Stewart, we told you he's never won at Darlington, but this car has been almost unbeatable. Talking about the car this year, 5 wins for that car. Tony Stewart has had 3 of them, Daytona, California, and Talladega. And, of course, the car has been, you can give a call, you talked about, to this whole Joe Gibbs organization, because they have won, 7 races of the 11 that have been run thus far. Very, very dominant performance by the whole organization, but particularly this car right here.
Well, when you have a car this good and they've had the success that they've had, it's a momentum builder. You get things that, going in your favor, and things just keep happening. Good things keep happening to the team.
I really like Dave Rogers' attitude. He's a very humble guy. He's concerned. He told us a week ago that, hey, I think one of the reasons we've had so much success, we haven't rested on our laurels. We know that every single race, we've got to step it up. Just because we won this weekend, guys, we know we got to go back to that shop and work harder. I can't tell you, Andy, how many times I've won races and went right back to the track with the same thing and said, guys, I blew their doors off. I won the race. I didn't do nothing. That's what I did wrong. I didn't do nothing. They got beat.
Well, Tony Stewart is trying to get his first win here at Darlington tonight. But, you know, formerly he was an IndyCar champion, and he ran the Indy 500 5 times. Twice he started on the front row, had a 5th place finish. That is one race that's eluded him. But tomorrow we're going to have the run for the pole from Indianapolis Live.
The journey to the 2008 Indy 500 begins Saturday with pole day. Last month, Danica Patrick won her first IndyCar race, fueling her confidence at the Brickyard, while Dancing with the Stars champion Helio Castroneves needs more than a 2-step to claim a 3rd Indy title. Pole day begins tomorrow, noon Eastern on ESPN2, and continues at 2 p.m. Eastern on ABC.
Artie Reed, Scott Goodyear, Eddie Cheever, and others up there covering IndyCar coverage. Here are the guys in tonight's race that have actually run the Indianapolis 500. How about Sam Hornish, set on the pole in 2006 and won the race, realizing a dream there for Roger Penske. Jason Leffler has run there, qualified 17th, had a respectable 17th place finish. We mentioned that Tony Stewart has been twice a front row starter. His best finish 5th there. He is a former IRL IndyCar Series champion.
Doc, you talk about Tony Stewart. I mean, this guy, when I think about Stewart, I think about how versatile he is. And I think of guys like A.J. Foyt, who ran Daytona, who ran midgets, who runs sprint cars, Indy cars. And Tony's done all this and been successful in all these different type of vehicles.
He really has. And I was at Indy for a number of years where he would come up there and just jump in an Indy car after being full-time in stock cars and go out there and lap 2 or 3. He would be at 225 or 228. And that is absolutely remarkable. You can jump out of a stock car, go up there and strap in an Indy car and be that fast in 2 or 3 laps.
Andy, I got a question to ask you. As a crew chief, how comfortable does it make you when you got a talent like a Tony Stewart behind your wheel? I mean, you had Dale Earnhardt Sr. Did a little extra step in you?
That's exactly the way it is. And I've had Tony in my truck. I've run him a couple of times at Richmond in a truck series race, and he's won both of them. And I felt the same way I did when I was Earnhardt's crew chief. When we had him in there, it just felt like you couldn't be beat. And a lot of times with Senior in that car, we just felt like we had an advantage that nobody else had.
Yeah, he is indeed a talent, an incredible talent in anything he sits in. Now, talking about talent, let's update some of these stories from the crew chiefs in the pits. Let's go down to Shannon.
I'm with Dan Deeringhoff, crew chief for Clint Bowyer. You're currently running 3rd. Jason Leffler in front of you has some major front-end damage. Do you guys have anything for the 20, Dan?
I don't know, the 38, I think he's going to go ahead and pit here, and that'll put us behind the 20. And Clint says our car is pretty decent for 2 laps, and we'll see who can get through turn 1 and 2 wide open the first 2 laps here and see what we got.
Now, I know you guys are looking big picture, and big picture is the point standings. How do you feel about your run here today?
I think it's good. I mean, it's too bad Carl had some bad luck there, but the BB&T Chevrolet has been consistent all night anyway, and that's what we got to do to win championships. That's what we're here for.
And guys, if it was to end right now, Clint Bowyer would be 107 points ahead in that driver's championship points. Dave.
And Shannon with Jerry Baxter, now crew chief for David Rudiments, number 99. Now, back in Nashville, fuel mileage cost you guys a race, or at least a great finish at Nashville. You told me after that the engineers worked very hard on gaining fuel mileage. Are you okay to the end here?
Yeah, we're pretty good. I think we got about 4 or 5 laps extra, so we're going to be fine there. TRD did a good job on working on all that.
And with your second car this weekend, how excited are you to be up in this top 3 or 4 when the race restarts?
Well, you know, we try to prepare both cars for each weekend as good as both the same, and guys did do a good job on this one. I'm pretty happy with all that. So before we talk much more about the Aaron's car, I got to wish all the mothers out there happy Mother's Day. You know, it's a big day coming for them. So.
And they'll be able to get home. We are going to finish this race eventually, and we'll all get home for Mother's Day. Doc?
Yeah, we hope so. And again, happy Mother's Day to all of those watching and listening. Special weekend. Now, what about this could be a special night for Tony Stewart if he can hang on. Let's listen into some radio communications on the 20 team.
Got me smoke. You should have about 6 gallons of fuel in that thing, so you shouldn't have any problems. But just to cover our back here, when you go down the back stretch, come to the green, give me a long sweeping swipe to the left hand, okay? Got it.
You see how he's doing it right there, just like Dave Rogers told him. Sweeping back and forth, just getting that fuel over there.
I like how he said, give me a long sweeping. That's very, very important. If you just jerk the car to the left, the gas is going to slam against the pickup box. If you do a long sweeping turn, it's going to lay against the pickup box and fill up real good with fuel. That's what you got to do.
Exactly what Tim Brewer showed you a little bit ago in the Chevy Cutaway car. How you capture all that fuel in that little trap door in the box. That's exactly what Tony Stewart is trying to accomplish. Well, green-white checkered finishes thus far in 2008. We've had 4 of them. Mark Martin was with the winner in Vegas. You see Kenseth, the one in Atlanta, the only Ford win this year. Kyle Busch at Phoenix. And last week, Denny Hamlin held on to win over Kevin Harvick at Richmond. Coming to the green flag, guys. What's going to happen here? Can Stewart hold him off? Bowyer is the points leader. How aggressive can he be?
I think he's going to be pretty aggressive. I heard his crew chief say a while ago, let's see who can hold it wide open through 1 and 2. And I think that's what Clint's going to try to do here.
Well, if you were watching last week's Cup race, Bowyer didn't think he had it won. And right at the very end, had a mistake, and Bowyer won that race. But are the rest of the guys going to run out of fuel? That's the big key right now.
And what about Todd Bodine? He's got nothing to lose. He runs full-time in the NASCAR Truck Series in the 03 back there. He's only his first start here with his Germain Brothers entry. Can he get there? He's a former Darlington winner. Let's see what's going to happen. Rudeman back there 4th. How about Stephen Wallace, the 20-year-old in 5th, trying to get back-to-back top 5s. Fans on their feet at Darlington. Green flag waves. Here they come. Two laps to go. It'll be white flag this time by. Thus far, everyone coming up to speed. Fuel doesn't seem to be a problem, but he's still got a lap and a half to go.
Clint Bowyer still staying in touch here.
Well, you see David Rudeman back there really working the back bumper at Todd Bodine. He's trying to pick up that spot. And Stremme underneath Stephen Wallace for a position.
Teammates side by side for 5th spot. Stremme in the 64. Stephen Wallace in the 66.
Oh, these boys got to be careful right now. White flag's waving.
Down the back straightaway. Tony Stewart trying to hang on and get his very first win ever at the track. Too tough to tame. The 2-time NASCAR Sprint Cup champion will say from now on, I have won at Darlington Raceway. Great battle for 3rd spot, Rudeman and Todd Bodine.
And Stephen and Stremme 5th and 6th again for the 2nd week in a row.
And the NASCAR scoring says David Rudeman will get the 3rd spot by inches over Todd Bodine.
Golly, what a race at Darlington. Awesome.
Dave Rogers, unbelievable the job that fella does.
Got to give some credit to this guy too, Tony Stewart. What a driver.
What an effort for Tony Stewart. He rubbed the wall with this Old Spice Toyota back on Thursday in the practice session. Just rubbed the right rear of it a little bit, came out, didn't affect it at all.
Kept it clean tonight. See how that right side doesn't have a mark on it.
I tell you guys, you also got to give a hand out to Todd Bodine. What a great job Bodine did tonight. Clint Bowyer getting that car handling good. Really good night for both these fellas.
There is Todd Bodine, his Germain Racing team making their first start of the year. He started another car early in the year at Las Vegas for a couple laps, but this is the first time in that car bringing it home with a 4th place finish. Let's go down and visit with Tony's crew chief here. Great effort down in the pits there for Dave Rogers and the company.
Well, Doc, last week Dave Rogers led Denny Hamlin to his very first win at Richmond. Now Tony Stewart's very first win here at Darlington. You said that this is a team effort, that you guys have worked so hard to get here, but could you have ever imagined that it would have been this good?
No, you know, we're the most blessed team there is. I mean, you look back at the history books and we're really blessed. You know, Joe Gibbs, J.D. Gibbs, they give us such a wonderful opportunity and bring on great sponsors, and Toyota coming on board, and all the guys at the shop. You know, I came over here a couple years ago, and we haven't had any turnover. All the guys are saying we're working on the same projects. When times got tough, they just kept digging. So real proud, real blessed, and just trying to enjoy it all.
So what did you just say to Tony on the radio?
I think I told him he won 4 out of 6 in that thing, which is really good. You know, before this year, Tony's only won 2 restrictor plate tracks, and now he's got Daytona and Talladega, and now we followed up with Darlington and California. So real excited. It's fun.
All right, well, you get to victory lane and celebrate. Congratulations to this 20 team.
And Shannon Clint Boyer inched closer to victory lane near the end of the race there, but Clint, it wasn't to be. Talk about your night here.
Yeah, it was just a long night. We just didn't have anything on the long runs. We were way too tight, too quick. But, you know, attrition was the name of the game tonight. I think it's going to be the name of the game of this place for a little while, though. But BB&T Chevrolet was a solid night for us. A good points tonight, and really proud of all the guys.
Biggest points lead of the year, 112 points now.
Yeah, that was it was a good deal there. You know, we got to get better. Well, they'll run us back down if we don't. But, you know, we got to stay consistent. That's the name of the championship.
Thanks, Clint. Jamie?
And David Rudiman just at the line by an inch, takes over third. Talk about that finish, David.
Oh yeah, we had a great Airstream machine. I kind of put us behind destroying the other car in practice, and got a great backup car, great pit stops, and I didn't qualify it very well. But you know, all in all, you know, really solid effort, and you know, got a run on Todd there right at the end, and he didn't crowd me or anything like that. He raced me clean, and that was really cool. So all in all, you know, started out not too good a weekend, but it ended up pretty good.
Great points day for David Rudiman, who's running for the championship as well. Let's go back to Dave Burns.
And Jamie, with the guy who was chasing him down there at the end, gave up that spot right at the checkers. Todd, talk about the end of this race.
Yeah, it was close. I was pushing really bad, and David's car was turning better, and on cold tires, that's what you needed to be able to do. And but we're tickled. I mean, this Jermaine Camry it was tough. I mean, it was fast there about in the middle of the race, and when I was behind Matt on that one restart, I got up in the wall and bent the fender in and really messed it up, started pushing pretty bad after that. So to hang on and get a fourth was a great night. The guys did a great job in the pits. You know, this is my truck team to come up here and run nationwide against all these Cup guys and finish fourth. We'll take it. It was a great night, and I'm proud to be a part of this team. And I want to say hi to Ashlyn. Love you, Pumpkin.
That's Todd's 15th top 10 here at the track. Too tough to tame. Now to victory lane.
And Dave, the Gatorade is spraying, and Tony Stewart is smiling once again. This team is on one heck of a roll. 4 in a row just for this 20 car. What's it like driving a car this strong?
Man, what an honor. And, you know, everybody from Old Spice and Farm Bureau Insurance and, you know, Armor On, all the guys that have been on this car this year. It's just been such an honor. Dave Rogers and these guys, it's not the drivers, I'm telling you that, because it's been here with 3 different guys. So it's this team behind us and all these guys at JGR. They do just such an awesome job. It's just a real honor to drive this race car.
A lot of talk this afternoon was really about your teammate, Denny Hamlin, the 18 car. A lot of people saying that was the car to beat. They didn't make the field. I know you guys debriefed with that team with Denny and Jason Radcliffe last night. How much did that conversation last night help you get to victory lane today?
We were a bunch better today than we were yesterday. He may have still won the race if he was in it, but we would have been right there with him. And Kyle would have been here too. I mean, all 3 of us Gibbs guys were the cars to beat today. But you know, you gotta be in the show to win it, and you gotta be there at the end to win it, and that's what we did. We finally won a race at Darlington.
And Tony Stewart picking up that victory in Darlington, his 4th this season.
And just a little pumped up, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Check out these championship standings. There were 12 points between the top 3 drivers starting the night tonight. Carl Edwards finished last. Kyle Busch finished 31st, both involved in crashes. Clint Boyer finished 2nd.
Yeah, absolutely. A great points today also for David Stremme. Brad Keselowski bounced back and had a 15th place finish. And I tell you what, you get Tony Stewart, you get Kyle Busch, and Denny Hamlin in those Gibbs cars, that is a lethal combination.
Noteworthy performances tonight. We heard from David Rudiman and Todd Bodine. Stephen Wallace with another top 5 finish. David Stremme right behind him in 6th. Jason Keller, Chase Miller, Jason Leffler, Marcus Ambrose, the rest of the top 10 tonight. What a night of carnage here at Darlington. Some 20 cars failed to finish. And now the NASCAR Nationwide Series will have a much-needed weekend off. Next race in 2 weeks at the home track of many of the teams, Lowe's Motor Speedway, Charlotte. Our broadcast coverage 2 weeks from tomorrow, May 24th, 7 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN2. Casey Kane, the defending winner of that race. Coming up next, Friday Night Fights presented by Just For Men Hair Color at Bally's Atlantic City. Crazy night at Darlington. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, NASCAR Now gets you set for the Cup race, and then all the Indy Pole Day coverage tomorrow. That's it from Darlington tonight. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. See ya.